Warning: this video is not intended for a younger audience. It may contain language, visuals, or opinions not suitable for all viewers. Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Featherhoof.
That was a really good intro.
Thank you.
I'm going to go to sleep now and wake me when you're done recording.
Okay, so and then this is CarnagePanda sleeping over here. He's sleep reviewing today. So
I hope I'm very convincing at the sleep part.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's fully awake, but trust me, he's dead asleep. He's weird like that. We're back for our apologies. Another 3-week hiatus. Unintentional. It was unintentional. Didn't mean to happen. It was only supposed to be a 1-week hiatus because someone had jury duty.
I had jury duty. So I showed up the first day, and they gave us this orientation, which lasted about an hour. And then they're like, well, we're not scheduling any court cases this week because Thanksgiving is on Thursday. And because of that, we're not coming in on Friday either because we just don't do that. I think everything gets canceled except work.
Yeah.
So anyway, after that, I was supposed to do this for 2 weeks.
Yes.
But then, they're like, on Wednesday, I called in and they're like, well, we're not doing any cases next week either. So, thank you everybody for completing your jury duty. I was like, well.
Easiest jury duty ever.
So yeah, I got summoned for jury waste of time.
Yes. But so then we were like, okay, we can start the second week. We come back on the second week.
The second part's more hilarious.
He comes over for anime night, and I mean, I wasn't feeling good already, but I thought I was like, okay, I can power through this. It's not a problem. But I guess I was more not feeling good than I thought because I think we got to our 6th anime. We got to the final one, and he just pushed play. He put the controller down, and he looks over at me, and I'm.
He was out, man. He was just out. So I stared at him for a while.
Apparently, I missed the first 5 minutes of whatever it was we were watching.
I don't remember what we were watching, but I was just staring at you and staring at you. And then I was like, hey, are you going to be okay? And he's like, what?
So, yeah, I had to call it. I wasn't feeling... It's why the whole channel was on a hiatus last week because I wasn't feeling good and I wasn't getting enough sleep and it was a bad time. So we're back now. We are back now to review another 3 weeks worth of animes.
Falling asleep
of
there?
The Aminus.
Yeah, the Aminus.
Oh boy.
We did have some good Aminus before this week.
We did.
Spoilers.
Spoilers for just about every anime we're going to talk about this week. 2 weeks ago, awesome. 1 week ago, more awesome. This week,
At some points I was scratching my head and saying that's not convincing.
Yeah.
What are they talking about?
I was literally my interest was waning, to say the least. It was like the last week when I was falling asleep. I'm just like, but we still had at least 2 good weeks of anime news to talk about.
Yes, we did. And before we get to that, I do have a recommendation.
Oh, recommendation time.
I know we haven't done anything like this in a while.
Ooh,
because we haven't done any, elsewhere in anime. Because I've not really watched anything great except for maybe Heroic Age, which is laughable.
So when you're saying it's great, are we saying great in quotation marks?
Yes, in quotation marks. However, that's not my recommendation. So
okay.
Last night I spent all night just binge reading this manga. So
it's this week in manga.
It's not an anime. There was an OVA, a test OVA released, but they were just putting their feelers out. And after reading the manga, I'm like, how would they even put that on TV?
Which is?
But they did greenlight a movie, which is coming out next season. So,
but for what?
So what I was reading all night last night, 45 chapters of Island of the Giant Insects.
Wasn't that the name of like a 40s B horror movie?
Sure. I was alive in the 40s too.
I think I might have seen like an episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000 where they were riffing on some movie that with a similar title.
So I'll just preface it with this is not a manga that is for everyone.
Oh, one of those
because it has a lot of gore in it.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of nudity.
Okay. You have my undivided attention.
And a lot of sex. So, yeah, if those things don't appeal to you, then don't listen to the next 5 minutes or whatever.
Okay.
So anyway, before I said, I'm not really into slasher flicks or these death games or battle royales where they just kill characters off left and right.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what this is. They just kill characters off left and right. So the premise of the story is, these kids are going on their class trip and they're in an airplane and the airplane just explodes. And
was their class trip to hell?
Yes.
All right.
So we come in with our main character, the insect girl, who's like, I get the feeling that the author really likes insects, and so this was
wait, are you sure this wasn't like an anime? This sort of sounds familiar to a trailer we watched at the beginning of the season.
It's not.
Okay, all right.
It just ended this year, so.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, like I was saying, the author must really be into bugs and insects because this character is like our vehicle for, all these interesting facts on the insects.
Ah.
Even though these are giant insects, killer insects.
Now, when you say giant, I mean, what are we talking about here?
Bigger than horses.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, now, a lot of these characters are human scumbags.
Ah, so it's one of those things where it's like, you don't feel bad about these fuckers dying because they're assholes anyway.
And some of the other characters are really great human beings.
Ah, so you have some kind of empathetic feeling for some of the characters.
Can you guess which ones survived the longest?
The assholes.
Yes.
Fuck.
But there's a silver lining because all the assholes die in the end.
Spoilers!
Well,
I know. That's what the show is.
It's what the show is. We've just got these supernatural evils, which are the insects running around instead of Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger coming out to kill everybody.
Or the xenomorph.
Or the xenomorph or the Cenobites or...
See, he just named like a bunch of really cool slasher villains, and then he tells me, I don't like slasher movies. It's like, how can you not love those movies with those characters in it?
Because they got really ridiculous during the 2000s.
During the 2000s. Okay, never mind.
You have like Final Destination, which is just like the most laughably stupid shit ever.
Well, those are dumb though. Those are like stupid movies. Though.
Jeepers Creepers.
The first one was funny though.
This is
the second one that was.
This
funny.
is my problem with slasher flicks because they mostly just make me sit back and laugh. I'm like,
and why is that bad? That's why I love them.
It's like, these are supposed to be horror movies, but when you're laughing, they're not horror movies.
Well, slasher movies are sort of in a genre on their own. Yes, they're under the horror classification, but because they're slashers, they're supposed to be comedic. For God's sakes, Freddy Krueger was just an R-rated Bugs Bunny.
That's a take.
Yes!
R-rated Bugs. R-rated. Okay,
Fight me.
So
Fight me on that.
Krueger is hilarious. He has some great one-liners, but
no, the deaths.
I will fight you just because.
No, the deaths.
I don't care.
The deaths that he created. Where he's like I'm gonna marionette a dude by his veins. Ha ha ha. Oh, I'm controlling a guy with a power glove. Now we're killing with power.
Are you serious?
Yes.
He seriously killed someone with a power glove.
Yes.
Oh wait, I think I remember that one. Yeah.
He takes a chick who was like terrified of cockroaches and turns her into a cockroach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. He was just fucking Bugs Bunny with supernatural powers and evil.
Okay, so in this manga, like I said, there's a lot of gore. So some of these characters die incredibly horrible deaths. I'm talking about bisection with intestines flying out and one of the really terrible people, which is a teacher, she dies. She gets completely dismembered.
By like a bunch of insects, like just ripped apart?
No, just one.
Ooh.
And it was because of her favorite student that it happened, too.
Really?
And then, like, another character starts off as one of the, you know, unredeemable trash characters. Because she tries to, you know, rape one of the other characters. Yes. Both the guys and the girls, there are rapists among them.
Oh, that wasn't why I did. Just the fact that it's like, Jesus.
Yeah, so she actually has this you know, heel face turn where she just becomes a good guy and undergoes this, you know, transformation where she becomes incredibly badass.
Oh, okay.
That by the end of the manga, you know, the insects are just getting bigger and bigger. That there's these two centipedes having this giant kaiju fight.
Oh, that's gonna be terrifying. A centipede scared the crap out of me.
Well, you know, one of the centipedes was ripping people just apart.
Yeah.
But these two centipedes are having this kaiju fight, and she's trying to, you know, free this boat to, you know, let them escape from the island of the giant insects where everybody's dying horribly.
I want to find this now. This is sounding amazing.
I'll send you a link. She gives away her shotgun and only has an axe, and one of these giant centipedes is coming right for her.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know...
I'm not going back to jail, you fuckers!
She's like, you know, this good girl, even though she was a horrible person for most of the story, is going to take you on. So she goes at this giant centipede, and, you know, you think, you know, oh, she's fucked, she's going to die.
Yeah.
Spoilers, she does die.
Okay.
But she dies by hitting the centipede with the axe. I don't know what the fuck happens here because there's this giant explosion. Like, it's not centipede part explosions, it's like a fucking gas explosion. Like, what the fuck happened? And this centipede is gone. She went out in like the biggest blaze of glory ever.
Fuck!
Like, with an axe? How does that even work?
Are we sure she didn't tie dynamite to the axe?
It's a possibility. So yeah, it's schlock, just complete schlock. It's not gonna, you know,
so it's
innovate the industry or, you know, say any complex thing about human morals. But damn, if I was not entertained reading this.
So it's like pre-90s, 80s, like pre-90s B-movie sort of business, but in manga form.
Yeah,
that sounds amazing.
Yeah. I'll send you a link.
I gotta read this.
It's a good read, you know.
Island of the Giant Insects.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. I need to see this. I want to read. I want to believe.
So after that, we will just get into our anime talks.
Yeah. No particular order this week, but because it's just too much to take into consideration, as last episode. But coming in first is Assassin's Pride, which I got a coworker at work who's been watching it as well, and he just went, I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. And you know, until today, I was like, oh, come on. It's not that bad. And then today, I just went, can we be done?
I've kind of tempered my expectations because I, you know, tried to cheat to see how much ground they've covered.
Yeah.
And they kind of skipped, like, from... like novel 2 to novel 5. Wow. So pacing, what is that? I feel like if they had slowed this down and actually,
you know, developed characters
developed characters and tried to tell the story instead of just breezing through,
or, you know, drawn good animation or illustrated well.
This is one of the bad things about this show is that there's some good direction, there's some good shots. But the animation is just
getting
not
sloppier
there.
And sloppier every fucking episode. This, you know, remember when we made the illusion last time that the author really liked Harry Potter?
This is another of my criticisms.
Well, apparently, seeing as we were done with the Goblet of Fire. We decided, the author decided to go back and do the Chamber of Secrets, because this was fucking the Chamber of Secrets.
And the Order of Phoenix at this... I don't understand what's going on here because
I don't see Order of the Phoenix, but this is clearly Chamber of Secrets.
There is an Order of the Phoenix in here because it's just a small part.
Okay.
But it kind of... I don't want to say that the author is stealing outright, but...
There are clear influences.
Really feels like I'm watching Harry Potter here. Only with different characters.
And a really uncomfortable student-teacher relationship. We'll
get to that later. Yeah, so the Order of the Influence... I flubbed my line there.
Cut!
Yeah, so the Order of the Phoenix influence here is that they introduce a Dolores Umbridge character in episode... Did we end on 10 or 9?
9.
Yeah, so in episode 7, we get this Dolores Umbridge character with a riding crop. So,
oh, that's right! But she don't really do much. She like shows up.
She shows up and then she's gone.
Yeah, she's very upset that, you know, the open relationship between Melita and Ellie. Oh, it's just so improper. Ellie should be above her, and you know she's way better than her.
That relationship's not improper at all.
No, apparently not. But but the Chamber of Secrets references, we clearly get the Professor Lockhart stand-in in Profus.
He looks like Lockhart. He
acts like Lockhart.
Flat out looks like him and acts like him.
He's put on the flair, the show. Oh, look how amazing I am! I'm the sage who saved this town because I'm so cool.
Spoilers, he's a bad guy.
What? Next thing you're gonna tell me is Lockhart was a bad guy.
Was he?
In his way, he wasn't the bad guy. He wasn't the villain of that book, but he was a bad guy.
Because, who cares?
I would say going around stealing people's stories and then wiping their memories so they didn't know they did it, and then claiming it as his own to make millions off of it is kind of a douchey thing to do.
Like Assassin's Pride is doing?
Well, there's so many. Okay, so they're in this town that's in a crater. Because that's where you... It's like, okay, that's where I want to build a town, is in a crater. All right.
But, you know what, another thing they stole for fucking Harry Potter is that going to this town, they're on the fucking Hogwarts Express.
It is a bright red steam engine. It's the fucking Hogwarts Express.
You know, at this point, I'm just half expecting them to just pull that, you know, that great scene from the Prisoner of Azkaban, where the Dementor shows up.
Yes.
The first time we see a Dementor.
I mean, literally, every time when they go to do their special moves at this point, where she's like, you know, sword stance primordial, you know, what was it, fledgling, something such and such wave, or whatever she does with her sword. I'm waiting for her to go, Expelliarmus! And the chick with the big mace, you know, Nerva, she's like, Avada Kedavra!
We're getting there.
Yeah, I know. So they go there, and this part actually made me laugh. So they get to the town, right? And there's a big commotion, a big to-do. There's like this woman's like, no, please, come back to your senses. What's wrong with you? Be my husband again. There's like a dude who's like underneath like a tarp, and they're like holding him on the ground. And fucking Brofus just comes up and is like...
And then the fucking headmistress shows up and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? A public execution in front of all these people and my students.
This was not a public execution. I only publicly executed that guy. Because
Melina and all the students are like, this town is kind of fucked up.
Yeah, because apparently he had some kind of awful disease and we had to weed out the disease and blah. He was incurable.
So this episode is just setting up, you know, there's a mystery going on because students and other people are being attacked and they don't know what's going on, but they gotta get to the bottom of it.
Yes.
And it's like a vampire is attacking them.
Ooh, a vampire with blue mana.
Spoilers, it's a vampire.
So everyone thinks it's Kufa because he's the only one with blue mana.
And his last name is Vampire.
You know, there's I mean, we're going to be jumping around.
Process of elimination.
Let's see. These girls were attacked in the neck with, like, very puncture-like wounds. Had their mana sucked out. Ooh, bad thing. Almost like a vampire did it. Hey, let's go ask that vampire guy. He might know. Hey, vampire, do you know about a vampire? Nope.
Nope. I don't know anything about vampires.
So everything's pointing towards Kufa being the bad guy. So,
Yeah.
ooh, no. And then it turns out it wasn't Kufa.
It was somebody else.
It was Rossetti.
Yeah, so spoilers, Rose is a vampire.
So, flashback.
I
7
don't
years ago.
want to get the flashbacks yet.
Okay. Unflashback.
This is pissing me off because
Oh,
Rose was trying to get Kufa to go along with this harebrained scheme to be her fiance or whatever.
Rose's dad wants to have has an arranged marriage for her.
Yeah, her dad is Professor Lockhart, by the way. He wants her to have this arranged marriage with this other. What was his name? Brofist?
No, Brofist was her dad.
Oh, okay. Anyway, he was. Oh, okay.
Brofist was her dad, and he wanted her to marry this other guy. It's like you marry that guy.
I think his name was Bro too.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Professor the mayor or whatever it was at the time.
He's the mayor, the he's the
sa-
executioner.
The sage, as he likes to call himself.
Yeah. So she's trying to get him to go with this harebrained scheme, and I think she really likes him. I think she really does, and I feel like they would be a cute couple together.
Yeah.
Now there are issues here. There's big issues with the relationships in this show.
Potentially big issues. Potentially.
But I would ship Kufa and Rose.
But last week we got an episode that starts with a flashback
Yes.
of young Rose and young Kufa. Kufa just having bit her in the neck, and then goes, "I'm wiping my memories of you." He's like,
That was
"But
this
Big
week,
Brother." No, that was the very beginning of last week. He's like, "But Big Brother," and she's all like, so. It's like it was the same way they were siblings.
Yeah, so they set them up as siblings, but since this is a Japanese anime, now this is one thing that infuriates me about anime.
Mm-hmm.
Brothers and sisters are never related by blood. Hypothetically, there could be a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
They could have parents.
Yes.
They could be the same parents.
Yes.
The father and the mother.
Yes.
However, the boy and the girl, not related by blood.
Well, there's such a thing as adoption, you know.
Their parents are the same people.
Well, yes, when you're adopted into a family, they're now your parents.
No.
Yes.
Daddy and mommy went like this and produced two of them.
I've never seen that in anime. The scenario you're setting up, where they have the exact same parents, but they're not related.
I'm saying that it could happen. I'll be 0% surprised if I see this happen.
Because here's the thing.
At all.
Even
not
though
blood related.
Even though our Lockhart stand-in is a douche nozzle, but it turns out he actually has a heart of gold. He has a heart of gold because
he's a leprechaun.
He brings in all these orphans. He pulls in orphans and he fathers them.
So luckily in this case, it's not the completely harebrained, idea I just point out there, which I would not be surprised happening, but Lockhart's just adopting, and this is how Kufa and Rossetti are brother and sister.
Yes.
And therefore not blood related. It makes total sense because it should make sense.
Yes. So it turns out there was a speeder. We get a flashback this episode of a big speeder.
Yeah.
He's a big speeder. Which this episode
was complete fucking nonsense.
This drives me insane because there's two major problems here. They fight remember Kufa's commanding officer we saw back in the first episode? He shows up to fight the big speeder.
Yes.
And he can't. His men get killed and he gets mortally, really wounded to the point where he won't be able to do field work anymore. Kufa comes in as a half vampire to save the day. He punches the spider in 2 of its 12 eyes. And the spider goes, "Ah, I'm blind!" It's like,
bro, you've got 8 more eyes. He's like, no, I'm blind.
"Oh, no, I'm blind! Ah!" It's like, okay. So they vaporize the big speeder. So Kufa, to save Rosetti's life, little child Rosetti's life, goes over and noms on her neck, turns her into kin. And then they're like, well, what are you going to do when she starts craving human blood? I know, we're going to get all into that. He goes, don't worry, I will wipe her memory of me, which will therefore bury her vampirism, and she will not need human blood to sustain herself because she won't remember being a vampire.
I'm just gonna be honest, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And therefore...
What the fuck?
And therefore, my theory about the 2 parents having the kids that are not blood related makes sense.
I mean, by this logic, what's his name? Jonathan Harker, from Bram Stoker's Dracula, didn't actually need to drive a stake through Dracula's heart. He just needed to bonk him on the head with a cartoon mallet, cause amnesia, and he would lose all his vampire powers. And his craving for blood. And he would be a normal human being again.
This episode was bad.
It was very bad. Although it did confirm that this show and the season has a complete distaste for doors.
That fucking door. Can we just press F, down in the comments for this door? So yeah, they finally catch up, Rose is getting forced into her arranged marriage. Well, actually, let me just go back because I'm skipping the most objectionable part of the episode.
Oh, okay, please.
Because at the beginning of the episode, Melida has found out that Kufa is a vampire.
Oh, yeah, this.
And therefore, this is how we learn that Kufa can wipe people's memories. I'm not sure how it makes any sense at all. But he's like, Melida, I'm going to wipe your memory, and therefore it's going to be like the first time we ever met. And she's like, no, I don't want it to ever happen. No. And he's like, what? And then she kisses him.
Yes.
And she's like, I've got a thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
Sensei.
Yep.
And he's like, okay. You've convinced me.
Yes. And then... But then after he's like, okay, and, I accept your feelings for me, but if you tell anyone,
I'm gonna nom on your neck.
you. Like, and this is almost like, because especially when you remember their student and teacher. It's like, if you ever tell anyone, I'll have to nom your neck and kill you like this. And he puts her teeth on her neck, and she clearly gasms over it.
Oh, yes. Melida wants some things from Kufa that, she's like 12, and she's really being aggressive in this.
Mm-hmm.
She is going after the man she wants, which is all kinds of improper because of her age and his status as her teacher.
I mean, the age, probably not that big a deal, because they're not that big an age difference. Because it's been, like, he showed him as a kid doing that to Rossetti, and only 7 years has passed. And so he's probably like 15 or 16.
So Kufa's 17 years old, and what's her face? Melida is 12.
Yeah. So she's technically under the age of consent, even in Japan. Isn't it 13?
Well, yeah, it's 13 nationally, but
yeah,
in the prefectures they have their own laws.
Okay.
Which raise it to
like. Well, granted,
18
and they're
stuff.
not even in Japan, really. They're in Chandelier Land.
They're in Chandelier Land with these crazy Harry Potter characters.
Yeah. But so it turns out that the spider that they thought they killed in the past, he has the power to just he's basically perfect cell. So as long as when he's evaporated, he turns into a bunch of teeny spiders. And so long as one of those spiders survives, he can regenerate into Mega Spider.
So we just cut back to the fact that Rose is getting married to this guy, and then Melida just bursts in and she's like, I don't agree to this marriage. Guess what, Rose? I kissed Sensei twice.
it like sort of breaks the programming on her.
She's like, I'm so angry at you.
And they have a fight, which is just a pretext for her to use her ability to attack fucking Lockhart. Who's also the priest. He's the mayor, he's a sage, and then he's also a priest.
Yeah, that knocks the spider off of him, and
which has been controlling him, apparently.
Then the spider's like, I'm gonna hurt you people. I'm gonna hurt you bad. Now this scene...
Because I love it. All the girls, like the principal stands up like, okay, girls, we're gonna kick its ass! And he just goes, fuck that door!
He just totally murders the fucking door. Nobody else is hurt in this scene at all.
Nope.
But the door is in tatters. It's gone. It's evaporated. Rip door. we didn't know you logged. Yeah, so... and then he makes his escape down a hidden passage.
That also has no door.
That has no door because this guy really does not like doors.
This season does not like doors.
Yeah, no. Fuck these doors. Fuck all of them. And unfortunately, he meets a grizzly inn. Now, I was hoping that Rose was just going to eat him, because she's a vampire and she's going to suck his blood and stuff. But they have some weird fucking Dragon Ball Z battle.
Yeah.
Where this spider ends up over the anti-gravity rocks and he's like, I can't see and I can't move either. And then he's like, you know what? You guys can't defeat me because I can turn myself into little spiders and get away.
So, for whatever reason, I guess, for reasons known only to him, he goes back down the passage, through the tunnel, into the room full of a bunch of combat-trained women.
And he runs right into Black Madia, and she's like, murder this guy! Murder every one of them!
Yes! And then is proceed to be murdered by all the girls from the academy.
And then, you know what?
While screaming, oh, damn you, Kufa! This was your plan all along!
Yeah, and apparently what they were doing to him down there was so horrible that they couldn't show us. All you could do is hear him screaming, no, don't do it, Yamero! Well, we just saw Rose and Kufa. Now the next scene I just really hate because...
Really? Because I was kind of touched by it.
I think it was unnecessary.
Where he re-wipes her memories?
Because Rose got her memories back, and she always wanted to be back with her brother again.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, I need to re-wipe your memories.
He has to, otherwise the Order is going to kill her. The Order that he's a part of will murder her. That was the pretext for keeping her alive, was that he would keep her memories locked away.
But what if she eats all of them? She's a vampire.
Yeah?
What if she eats all of them?
That might be one of the reasons why they they want her memories locked away.
Okay, so, at this point, I just really want Melida to die. Because she is actively sinking the Rose Cross Kufa ship. She is firing her cannons, and she has put so many holes in this ship that, they can't clear out all of the water fast enough.
Oh, your poor ship sinking.
I cannot believe how aggressive a 12-year-old girl is. Because at the end of this episode, she's like, guess what, Rose? I kissed him twice. Just to,
antagonize.
Bury more daggers into her, and the audience. I hated this episode. I hated it so much.
I think the only redeeming factor of this episode, I did hate it. I hated it as well. But the only redeeming factor, I actually was rather touched by that scene where he had to relock her memories away. I felt a little bit clever.
Okay.
I don't know.
I didn't like that scene.
I liked it. But yeah, that was Assassin's Pride these past 3 weeks. It was like, I wouldn't even say they were really great. They were just, this anime is really just sort of...
Actually, I want to talk about that because Kufa's okay with letting Melida know that he's a vampire.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep this a secret from everybody, but Rose can't do it.
No, because he already has the the arrangement he already made with his order. He has to keep that arrangement going.
I feel like this arrangement would cause, inter-cabal wars, where Rose's cabal would go to war with Kufa's cabal if they murdered them over a stupid reason like this.
Maybe, but the thing is, that's not the story they want to tell. Because that's not part of Harry Potter canon, and this anime has to follow Harry Potter.
I missed the part in Harry Potter where they're trying to have incestuous relationships, and relationships with 12 and 17 blah 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 and stuff like that.
There was a lot of incestuous relationships in Harry Potter. Oh, what do you think all the pureblood families were? They were all interrelated was the words they used.
You may have a point, but I'm just gonna reject it anyway.
Not to mention the Gaunts. They were clearly inbred.
You may have a point, but I don't care. I'm just
because I proved you wrong.
Bro, we're talking about an episode where a spider got stabbed in 2 of his eyes.
Yeah,
and he's blind. I'm gonna make any fucking argument I want.
I know. Just so you know what? Let's end it then. Let's move away from it. I mean, look, this was it was comical in how bad it was. We were sitting here laughing our asses off.
This is my main problem. Like, I like the character designs, especially of like Rose.
Yeah,
but there's so many other problems in the show. Poor animation. Whatever the fuck this episode was. So Assassin's Pride, it was a show.
It was. And we are moving on.
So Fate Order Grand Babylonia, I'm going with that. I flubbed that one too, but I'm going with it. Babylonia, great episode 8.
Yes. A better.
Pretty good episode 9, but episode 8, definitely the best episode.
I'd say 9 was the better one.
Well, I'm just saying on a technical level with the animation, it's.
Oh wait, no, you're right. Yeah, it was 8 was the best one. Yeah, I'm getting confused.
This is where we get the last stand of Leonidas and Ushiwaka Maru.
Also, the last stand of my fucking speakers on my goddamn TV. Jesus fuck.
So yeah, this was an amazing battle. It took like the entire episode, and I was completely
so fucking badass.
I was completely astounded.
I mean, I love watching Leonidas using his superpowers to, like, do the phalanx wall, and just, like, he isn't really doing much against Tiamat, other than to call out her real name, Gorgon.
Yeah, so this is obviously Medusa.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot because we were off a couple weeks, but, I've been going through these other singularities.
Yeah.
A lot of these singularities are just nonsense running back and forth and doing nonsense fetch quests. But let's just go into Singularity 2.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll get back to the episode. All right.
This happens in ancient Rome.
Ooh.
And
also it ties into the whole... Okay.
And the person that they're helping this time instead of Gilgamesh is Emperor Nero. Now...
Really?
Emperor Nero is a woman.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
Gender bit. And she's fighting against the United Roman Empire, which is led by Romulus.
Okay.
They didn't bring Remus back because fuck that guy. But he has a whole bunch of other Roman emperors, like Caligula, and this is my favorite part of this singularity.
Okay.
Fat Caesar.
What?
So Rotund Caesar is one of the I can't even. So there's a bunch of bullshit in this one. It turns out that the big bad enemy was not actually did I say Roman?
You said Romulus.
Yeah, Romulus of the United Empire of whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You smash down the doors, get to the big bad, and it turns out that there's some fucking leprechaun that was. I'm not fucking with you, man.
A leprechaun.
A leprechaun.
Hide a time, my pot of gold, leprechaun.
I don't know if he speaks like that, but I don't think they have voice actors or anything. Well, I didn't, go and look at the game because I'm not interested in these kinds of games.
Yeah.
But, yeah, fucking Fat Caesar and a leprechaun, and it just dissolves from there. So, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, back to Babylonia. Episode 8 was fantastic.
Yes, I mean, like I was saying, it was just like that scene where Leonidas is just standing there. He's like, "Oh, you're going to use your eye lasers? I'm going to stare back at you, bitch! I'm just intensely with how awesome I am." And he was.
So the scene where Ushiwakabaru kind of fights the Gorgon at the beginning, and it's a really good sequence, but
she ultimately fails.
She fails, and I thought she was going to get bored at this scene. I thought she was just going to gulp Ushiwakabaru down, and that was going to be the end of Ushiwakabaru. But Leonidas shows up, and he's like, "I'm big and tough," and then he summons the 300 Spartans behind him.
Yep.
And
it was so awesome.
And I don't know what the fuck he was screaming out. I think it was Greek, but I think if it's translated correctly, he was saying "get fucked." I'm just gonna go with that because I don't know Greek.
I don't either. And
ultimately, he fails too because she's immortal.
Yeah.
And a god.
Was he the one who put the big hole through her belly?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he threw a fucking spear.
That's right.
Straight through her chest.
He did the whole the king from 300. What's his face? The dude at the end. The big king of the Persian army.
Oh, I want to say Xerxes.
Yes. Where he chucks the spear at Xerxes to scratch his cheek.
Yeah.
He does that whole bit. Only this time he does a little more than a scratch on the cheek. He puts a whole hole through her belly.
Yeah, he puts a gigantic fucking hole. This would have killed anybody else.
Yeah.
Except she's a god.
But they were all like, "Oh my god, she's got the power of the Holy Grail," or whatever the fuck. And she's all like, "Oh, you peasants, I don't use something as plebeian as the Holy Grail."
Holy Grail? No.
This is just all my power. It's because I'm that awesome.
And then Ushiwakabaru gets back up and she's like, "Man, you fucking suck at this shit."
And
then he goes back in.
The way Leonidas went out, though, is like where he's just turning to stone, like bit by bit, as like each shield from the phalanx goes down until it's just his. He's just standing there taking the beam like a boss. Oh, it was awesome.
Now, if they had summoned Perseus, this would have been a dramatic loss for the Gorgon.
Yes, because apparently only Perseus is smart enough to go, "Oh, that's right, reflective shield. Duh."
I don't know. Did Perseus have a special shield, or was it just a junk shield that he had?
I can't remember. I think in the actually was it, I've seen like in one version it was like just like a silver plate that he went, "Look at that."
Yeah.
I don't remember, and there was I can't remember. It's like I've seen all kinds of different versions of fights with Medusa. I can't remember which ones were from what.
I can only remember the one in the Clash of Titans where
the good one or the bad one.
I don't know which one's the good one or the bad one.
The old one's the good one. The one with
they did make a new one.
Yeah,
that's right. I haven't actually seen the new one.
Don't. We don't need to see Qui-Gon Zeus. You don't need to see Qui-Gon Zeus.
I'll take your word for it. Yeah. So, unfortunately, the guy we have is Leonidas, and he can't really kill her because there's this thing in Fate where you have to have divinity to hurt divinity.
Yeah.
And therefore, he couldn't hurt her because he's just a normal dude.
Yeah.
And then...
But went out like a boss. Like I said, he statued up and then crumbled, but it was still... He went out like a boss.
You know what? Both of them went out like fucking champs.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we were going to get to Ushi. We got to her. I was going to say it too because fuck. She went Naruto, though. She went straight up Naruto.
Yeah. She's like, you know what? Even though Leonidas failed, you're just a chump, and I'm going to take you out.
Yep.
And she goes in and... Fantastic battle,
She's a 7-clone... jutsu.
8 clones.
8 clone.
And kind of makes sushi out of the Gorgon.
But what was neat, what I loved about it, was that because she can clone her body, but not her mystical sword, so the clones kept chucking the sword back and forth to each other. And every time one would die, the sword would fly up in the air, and the next one would catch it and continue to slice her up.
Yeah.
It was so fucking badass.
Unfortunately, like, I mean, if you didn't get it that I said last stand of Ushiwakabaru in Leonidas, she fails at the end. She makes this suicide attack, and you're like, well, fuck, because she says this is goodbye, Lord Fujimaru.
And again,
like, well, shit.
Just like Leonidas' attack, this does damage to the point where you're like, they won. There it was. That was the finishing blow. That was it.
You know, at this,
what?
I wasn't really, partial to Leonidas and Ushiwakamaru up until this point.
Yeah.
But this episode raised my opinion of them by like 100 points each.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ushiwakamaru fails, and Gorga's like, that was nothing. Come at me, bro.
So she's like, well, I'm tired of this shit. Time to finish Oric and kill Gilgamesh. Yeah! And then fake Enkidu comes up and he's like, Mom, don't. It's like, but I want... Don't, Mom. Because of that allegiance thing? Okay. And she leaves.
And then we get this weird scene. No, let me back up, because it turns out Banky's like, I was a fucking coward.
Well, that comes later. That's not backing up. That's going forward.
Well, they've lost the battle, and Banky's all discouraged, and he's like, tell Gilgamesh I suck, and I'm just going home.
Because he's not really Banky at all. He's actually some other dude.
Yeah, it turns out he wasn't Banky at all. He's just some dude.
He's like some dude who knew of Banky and Ushiwakamaru.
Unfortunately, Ushiwakamaru was not done.
Oh, yeah, that was that. But we're jumping ahead. We completely went past my favorite scene.
Oh, what's that?
Where after Enkidu tells his mom, he's like, Mom, just go home. Go home. Mom, you're drunk. All right? Go home. Go to bed. And then he floats down like, why did you save us? Well, why did you stop your mom from killing us? It's like, oh, no, you don't understand. It's just, the thing is that we're going to win, and I'm going to kill all y'all. But just not like this, because I have to ensure our victory. He's like, and they're all like, well, so you're not really Enkidu, are you? He's like, oh, no. I'm actually not. My name is actually Kingu.
I got nothing on this one because
I am the firstborn of what's going to replace you humans. I'm the first new human. The thing is, I love all y'all, and I'm going to take your memories and your culture and all that. I'm going to take that into the future. Don't y'all worry. I'm the first of the new race, but in order to be the first of the new race, the old race got to go away. Y'all got to die.
So he's a new type?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I actually looked up Kingu, and I wish we would have done Anime Talk last week, because I had it all in my mind then, but I was like, oh, Kingu, and I looked it up like, oh, okay, that actually does fit into all this stuff with Marduk and all this other jazz.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool, but I totally forgot it all.
He forgot everything he was going to bring up.
Yeah.
I did not.
But, we got to see one more scene with Kingu and Ushiwakamaru, which is like, ugh.
Yeah, so Ushiwakamaru wakes up, and apparently Kingu is letting children go.
Yeah.
And then Ushiwakamaru notes that this is like a factory for making demons, because there's all these humans in the wall.
Yep.
In the walls.
Well, they're in like bubbles that are in the wall.
Pods, bubbles or whatever. Yeah. And Ushiwakamaru's tied up in there. Like, her limbs are all inside of a bubble.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, why are you letting those children go? And he's like, I have different motivations. I might be a traitor, but not. I don't know the deal with his story, so. Not yet.
Although he did talk about a little bit, give us some insight into how all the demon beasts were made. They basically just like, they take the people they kill, and they're just like, well, you're gonna get, or not even kill, they kidnap people and turn them into the beasts.
Yeah. So he's like, we're going to turn you into one of these beasts, and I think you're probably going to be a good one.
We'll make sure to keep your consciousness right until the end, because when you leave their human consciousness until, so they still have some hope that they can use their newfound body to get some kind of revenge, then we take their mind from it. It makes it such a better monster.
And Ushiwakamaru's like the king of shit talking.
Oh, she was.
She's like, man, you're a fucking idiot.
Like, and Kingu's like, he got a little bit too much. Well, no, he got a little bit too much pleasure when he was like fingering the stab wound he put in her.
Interesting way of.
No, that was straight up. He stabbed her with his fingers.
Well, she had this wound in her chest that was open. You could clearly see it. she was bleeding out of it.
And he's just like...
He just puts his fingers in there to torture her.
Yeah.
And she's like, god damn it.
But he's sitting the entire
time...
time...
And then she keeps shit-talking him anyway.
So then he insinuates, he's like, you know what? We're going to make a different kind of monster out of you.
So apparently she had annoyed him enough with her shit-talking that he's like, you know what, I'm changing my plans. We're doing something completely different.
Like, I think they insinuate, like, remember that, like, in the previous episode when they fought that big beast, the big monster that was supposed to be a child of Tiamat?
Yeah.
I think they're going to turn her into one of them.
No, I don't think so. I did tell you in Singularity 1 that there are evil versions of servants. Because they had evil Jeanne d'Arc.
That's true, you're right.
Who looks really cool, by the way. So I get the feeling they're going to turn Ushawakamaru. So Ushawakamaru is just getting really done dirty here. So I think she's going to come back as an evil version of Ushawakamaru. And Gilgamesh is going to be like, what? You're on my side.
Well, I think it's going to turn into the whole friendship as magic shit. Where, you know, Fujimaru is going to be like, but we were friends! It's like, friends! Oh, friendship! Oh, I break the mind control!
You might have a point there.
Yeah.
According to the latest episode.
Yeah. So...
Great episode. Moving on to 9.
Yeah.
There wasn't much in 9, was there?
Literally, okay, I'm going to break down episode 9 into one sentence. If you allow me.
Go ahead.
Fujimaru is his name?
Sure.
The main character. Fujimaru?
I can't remember now. Fujimaru?
Yeah, I think it's Fujimaru. Fujimaru and friends bring Ishtar gems to make her work for their side to the end.
That was pretty concise.
Literally, they had 22 minutes of just... Oh, literally, this could have been a scene. But they had to draw it out to 22 minutes. Like, Gilgamesh was all like, take a third of the gems in one third of the gems in our treasury.
The interesting thing is that Gilgamesh said, "Yeah, I'm going to give you a third of the treasury of my gems."
A third of the gems in his treasury.
Yeah,
specifically.
a third of the gems in his treasury to buy off Ishtar because she loves gems.
Yeah, and if she succeeds, she will get another third of the gems in the treasury.
However, Fujimaru swindles her by bringing it down to 25%.
Yes.
and totally leaving out the rest of, another third.
Yep.
So he kind of, got a discount.
He did. Apparently, we're finding out in both this week's episode and the previous, Fujimaru actually does have a little bit of, a little silver tongue going on. He has a gift of the gab, a little bit.
Oh my god.
We'll get there. But I mean, can we just finish up with episode 9? Because I think that was pretty much it.
That's all you have to say about episode 9.
Oh,
unless you're really into Ishtar because they kind of ogle her.
That and she begins to ogle Fujimaru.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's pretty much it.
Now, episode 10. Cringy?
A little bit. Although I did enjoy... I'll be perfectly honest, I liked Quetzalcoatl.
I have a differing opinion.
She made me laugh so goddamn hard. No way, man.
I did not like the way the actress did the voice.
I thought it was perfect. I enjoyed the fact that it's just someone who was just so dementedly insane. She just struck me as like a Harlequin style character. A Harley Quinn.
The opening scene, okay. I just feel like Ishtar and Gilgamesh should get married already.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Back to the Epic of Gilgamesh where Ishtar wanted Gilgamesh to marry her. They fight like a married couple.
They do. But I do love that it's while they're talking about Quetzalcoatl, she just decides to show up at the gates.
Yeah.
And when
let's not go any further. We have to put another F for another door.
Yes.
Poor doors. These poor fucking doors. Let's have a moment of silence.
And now they must have some kind of communication. They have some kind of communication system in Uruk because the exact moment
that she breaks down the
door, a guy comes from off screen. Message from the South Gate,
message
sir!
From the South Gate! Immediately.
How? How did you get that message from the South Gate?
here's my interpretation. He was just a guard that was outside, right outside where he was.
Yeah.
Looking at the south gate. And therefore he spun around and was like, message from the south gate, we're fucked.
It's probably that. But it's just because it's worded as message from the south gate, I thought like someone had actually somehow, used the message spell from D&D.
Yeah. Bizarre seed. So Quetzalcoatl shows up and starts...
I love this scene so much!
Starts bodying all these guards.
Because the Fujimaru and his friends and Merlin and Anna and Mash are all like, oh, we gotta go. Oh, crap. We gotta get ready for battle. There's this big cloud, like dust cloud from the explosions and whatnot. You just see this figure in the clouds juggling human bodies. 1, 2, 3.
So Quetzalcoatl was juggling human bodies.
In Spanish.
It was hilarious. And yeah, she speaks in Spanish.
She speaks Spanglish. Let's be honest, she speaks Spanglish.
Spagaplish?
Spagaplinese.
Yeah.
Because it's English, Spanish, Japanese. You find a way to put those 3 words together. Comments below. And she then takes the human bodies that she was juggling and then somehow converts them into an explosive projectile. Because she throws them into buildings that then explode.
Yeah, that happened.
And then she starts to talk. I think it was perfect. He hates it.
I just hate her voice.
I thought it was awesome. Especially the way she acts. It's like, oh,
I hate her
it.
less than another character, but...
Who's here? And she then is like, it looks like, okay, we're gonna get this epic battle. It's gonna be this cool thing. And then she goes, well, the problem is I can't fight you today.
I'm only going to kill 100 people a day, and then I'm going home.
And I met my quota. So
I'll come back tomorrow.
She pulls on the bird's tail, Yabba Dabba Doo's out, and on a big bird, leaving behind... What does she leave behind?
Apparently, Jaguar Man is her minion, and she shows up with these baskets and starts collecting all the dead bodies.
Yeah.
While
being annoying as fuck.
And being annoying as fuck. And they try to kill her.
Unsuccessfully.
Anna tries to kill her, at least.
Yeah. At least Anna has the right idea.
Anna has the right idea. I like Anna.
Yes.
She is a good character. Mm-hmm. She has a lot of character development, especially on the word kill.
Yes.
She tries to kill the right people.
Yes.
Jaguar Man especially. Mm-hmm. Who is the most annoying character in the show.
Yes.
And I wish that they would have never brought her back.
Agreed. But she's here. And she leaves.
With all the bodies in these baskets.
Apparently, she left behind some kind of jaguar men or something. Some kind of anthro-animal men to fight in her stead as she ran away. But then it just cuts to...
I don't know. I get this feeling that this was some joke, but I don't play the games, so I don't get it.
And it just cuts to Gilgamesh going, we need the axe of Marduk.
Or else we're fucked.
And
Gilgamesh is always like, we're fucked, man.
And guess where they gotta go to get it? They gotta go through Quetzalcoatl's territory.
So they go to Quetzalcoatl's territory, and Jaguar Man shows up.
Now, I have to admit, this scene busted me up. Jaguar Man comes down like, aha! I'm gonna, my dumb prey has come before me again, and they just walk right past her.
They just ignore the fuck out of her, and she keeps trying to get in, and they're like, they're like, nah, she's not even here. They're just talking to each other, and they keep walking, and then Jaguar Man is like, oh my god, could you pay attention to me?
And then the cringiest scene happens.
Oh god, I don't know what the fuck happened. I can't unsee it now, but...
Merlin gives Fujimaru some kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge sentence, and Fujimaru goes, oh, got it, okay. And, oh, my dearest Jaguar warrior, with the beautiful hair like blah, 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 and eyes of the blah, blah, blah.
He's acted like he's some character out of an my pronunciation is failing me, but Otome game that just is so handsome, so bishonen.
Yeah. And Jaguar Man knows,
oh god,
I'm on your team now! Yay! It's like, really?
This was the worst decision ever. So, you've played Pokemon before, right?
I have.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. You could choose not to capture a Pokemon?
Yes, you can. Yes.
I wish they would have chose not to pick up this Pokemon.
See, I was going to go in a different direction. And this one's a little, but yours is probably more well-known. I was going to go with Star Ocean. Where in the Star Ocean games, you can choose to accept optional party members. But if you do, you might lock out another party member you may actually have wanted.
Yeah, so they might have locked out a good party member
exactly.
for fucking Jaguar Man.
Exactly.
Oh dear, and then the next scene that happens. Boy.
Oh, you mean where they wind up at the village and all the people that were killed are alive now?
No, I'm talking about the fucking imagery they used with the Jaguar Man. After she had witnessed Fujimaru's ability to seduce her. So
oh God! Oh no! Yeah, just remembered what you. Oh Jesus
literally,
Christ.
Jaguar Man had an orgasm in this episode.
Now, when I said it in Assassin's Pride, I was being funny. I was trying to be silly. This one, they specifically used imagery to show she had an orgasm. They showed a rose blossoming, or not a rose, but a flower of some kind.
Just some flower just blossoming.
And then some kind of fruit oozing liquid out of a slit in its side. It's like...
This is not something I wanted to associate with the Jaguar Man, because I don't even fucking like her.
No, it was just like, you know, that wasn't even, like... usually they try to hide these things, or, like, play it off, or be, what's the word I'm looking for? Cryptic about it. This is just like, no, we're specifically telling you that his words gave Jaguar Man a gas.
I do not need imagery showing me that Jaguar Man got that fucking wet.
She did. And they wanted us to know it. I mean, I guess even joke characters need love too, but... So now we get into a village where all the men that Quetzalcoatl had killed are alive. Because she decided... What was it?
She decided to kill them, but resurrect them in the same breath.
Yeah, it was like... those who... what was it? Jaguar Man explained it. It was like...
Those who are not ready to die. She valued people that would want to fight but didn't want to die. There's some weird explanation. I don't even trust the words that Jaguar Man says, because fuck her.
No, we already had that imagery. No,
poor choice of words.
No,
part, I guess. I don't know what to say about Jaguar Man.
Could you imagine fucking that chick? He's in having sex with her, and she's doing cat puns in the middle of it.
Bro, stop it! Stop it!
You're welcome.
You do realize that we literally watched a hentai with this episode.
I know we did. It was gross, and I didn't need it. But we got it. And I added to your misery.
This is the grossest fucking thing I've ever watched.
But yeah, the episode ends there with them, saying...
This is worse than anything I've watched that has had gore in it.
And people call me the prudish one.
It's only because of this fucking character. This fucking character is so terrible. And the director has abused the audience.
You look, okay, I will do this. I will say this. If they had left it at the flower blooming thing, I've seen a lot of movies and shows do that. It's like, okay, I get that. What ruined it was the dripping fruit thing. It was like, okay, no. Now that was the line. That was the line that ruined it. But
can we just end it here? Yeah, we just end it. I'm thoroughly disgusted. Thoroughly disgusted.
Well, I gotta
will
say,
never be the same.
You could say that sex with Jaguar Man is certainly possible.
I don't think we can be friends anymore.
And moving on. Coming up next on our list is Kemono Michi Rise Up, which, like you said, it follows the same formula. 2 great episodes followed by a...
I don't know how I feel about this because I really enjoyed episode 8, which was the wrestling tournament.
Yes.
I felt like I was a little kid watching pro wrestling again, and that really, that sold it for me.
Yes.
And it was great because it mixed it up,
Mm-hmm.
They've had this real problem where they've just really recycled the jokes in this show.
Yes.
And just hammered them just over and over again. And I do remember them reusing jokes in Konosuba, but it feels like this has gone above and beyond.
Although I gotta say, I'm not tired of Shigure taking what was his name, Heat Haze's weapons every time Genzo kicks his ass.
So Shigure is like Kazuma in that she has a very high luck stat.
Yeah.
Because all of these weapons, they just keep, coming towards her.
Although
all these legendary weapons.
I think the 2 things that stood out in this episode for me. I mean, how do we talk about this episode? It's just like wrestling matches happened.
Yeah, wrestling matches, and they were great.
Yeah, they were. But there's 2 parts I wanted to bring up specifically. I love the fact that well, 3 parts. First off, I love the commentators. The effeminate curly mustached orc, the dragon girl, and the parrot crow thing, which kind of like has a foul beak. I love because he keeps swearing and shit. And the dragon girl keeps talking about how much she like. Every time the effeminate orc asks her questions about like, what do you think of the chances of such and such winning this match? She starts to talk about like, oh well, I bet such and such has very tasty thighs. That's like the meatiest part of a lizard person, and this, that, and the other. Or a kobold, the best place to eat a kobold is right there in the upper arm. It's like that's the tastiest part of kobold meat. So that kind of cracked me up.
And the one commentator was like, "Oh my god, she's gonna eat me!"
Yeah. But the part that really made me laugh this episode was Shigure's stand. I love Shigure's concession stand.
Yeah.
Because there was a bunch of T-shirts and posters. Like you would see this at like a county fair. The one that that has like the pop the balloon game with the dart, and it would be like you see like band T-shirts and band posters that you could win. But instead, it's all wrestling and different wrestlers on there, Genzo and Camilla or Carmilla, etc., etc. But then there's this one girl. You always see her in like shadow throughout most of the episode. And after Genzo's done talking to her and he walks off, she comes out of the shadow. You see this innocent-looking girl. She's like, "Hey, you got the stuff? You got the good stuff?" And she's like, "Yeah, I got you. Don't worry." And she pulls down this like a little pull down, like those old like projector screens.
Yeah.
And it's full of like muscle lewds.
Yeah. So essentially, these are lewds, and I like this scene too. Of course, this is fan service for the ladies, but I don't object to fan service unless it's of certain characters I don't like. I'm really fascinated by the fact that artists have gone through such lengths to draw the human body and get all the shading and everything right.
Yeah.
It really fascinates me.
Right.
And I also like to adore the female body.
Well, as straight men, we tend to do that, yes.
Yeah, so, but this is fan service for girls, so.
But what made me laugh is just like, because she pulled, like, I cannot remember her name from the weightlifting anime we watched. How heavy are the dumbbells you lift?
Yeah.
Remember the one girl who's all about muscles? Like,
yeah.
Oh, muscles! Because, like, she does that too.
That one was way more over the top, though.
I know, but the girl, when Shigure pulls down the thing, she's just going, muscles, muscles, muscles. It's like, that's funny. But the scene that cracked me up was the end. When it was Genzo and Carmilla versus No, was it Genzo and Carmilla?
Yeah, Genzo and Carmilla.
Versus the Cat Girl and Heat Haze.
Was it Heat Haze? I thought it was her. Oh wait, Heat Haze gets knocked out.
Yeah, because like throughout the beginning, at the beginning of the episode, Cat Girl doesn't know if she wants to. She doesn't want to know what to do because she's like, "Come on, big bro, we can go outside." Like, no, that's where the pervert is. I'm not doing it. I can't go outside. Danger's outside.
This poor wolf guy.
He's like in a blanket and he's like just curled in the fetal position. And so she goes to reclaim his honor, to get revenge for him by wrestling against Genzo in the ring. But then when she gets knocked down, she like looks into the audience and he's there watching her. He's like, "Oh, big brother, you came to save me and take my place." He's like, "What? No! No!"
I don't want anything to do with this.
But it's like this big, like even the announcer's like, "Oh my god, we have a tap-in! We have a last-minute replacement!" And of course...
This was just pure pro wrestling, like, for no reason at all, another wrestler just comes out and they got his theme music ready and all the announcers are surprised. They're like, "Oh my god, The Undertaker's coming out! What could this mean?" And he just starts attacking the guy while the other guy is distracting the referee.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of the referee, there's he did one of the guys dirty earlier in the episode.
Oh, that's right, yeah!
Because he got pinned, and he's like, 1, 2, 3. And he's like, "Dude, that was way too fast." He's like, "You're out, man. Get out of here." So yeah, this was a really fun episode.
So the next episode we got is did you like that German suplex from the first episode?
Yeah, so they abused
Prepare to see it 30 times.
This episode was Princess Cross Panties.
Yeah.
Now, they decided to show us the finest booty in the realms multiple times in this episode.
Yes.
And I'm not particularly opposed to this fan service, but it kind of gets like overplayed.
Yeah.
One thing I have to say is that the princess has like maxed out durability to take that many suplexes.
Yeah.
And other wrestling moves.
And to walk away from them.
There are points where Genzo slams her so hard that her head goes through the floor.
And she gets up and
breaks
walks
the
away.
floorboards, and she just gets up and walks away.
It's like, what the fuck, woman? What are you on?
Now, one of the weirdest touches is that she's wearing a different pair of panties each time.
Yeah.
That
That's not weird. I would hope that she's changing her underwear every day. Those who don't change their underwear every day are gross.
These are anime characters, though. They always wear the same clothes.
But at least she changes her underwear.
At least she changes her underwear. She's
so
always got a fresh pair of underwear.
So she's at least clean.
And this is another bizarre thing because she has the hots for Genzo. Like, every time he gets close to her, she starts blushing as like, "Oh, I love you so much." And then he abuses her.
Well, it's because I think she's like, because they sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Except the fact that this is an isekai trope. And she's like, "Oh, the hero always, like, apparently like, this has happened before. They've had to summon heroes or whatever in their world. Like, it's like, this can happen afterwards, can't it? After you've defeated the great evil, then we get together. That's how the stories go, isn't it?" But, she finally finds where he lives. She finally finds out his true identity. She didn't know, she only knew him as Animal Mask before. And she hunts him down and demands that he do his heroic duty and defeat the evil, Dark Lord.
And of course, Genzo has no interest in this at all.
Nope. And his way of saying no every time is to do suplexes or other kind of wrestling moves that involve slamming her face into the ground so that her legs are spread in the air.
They overdid this. Like, there are crowds gathering outside because he did it to Carmilla first.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Wow, is she just a weird exhibitionist?" And like each day that the Princess Altina comes back, and gets abused, by Genzo is the only way I can put it, because who fucking suplexes somebody as a negative answer to a question?
Genzo
Does this obviously because he's just weird.
He's Genzo.
But yeah, these crowds keep gathering each day. They're like, what the fuck? All these exhibitionists. And then there's a bigger crowd the next day and the next day. Weird episode.
Yeah, that's pretty much...
That's an entire episode.
Yeah, I mean, with the every once in a while it cuts to the vampire girl with Mao.
Yeah.
Like showing him
doing
like
stuff.
Yeah, just like trying to raise armies and gather, forces and whatnot.
Yeah, and Mao goes over and beats up the orcs.
Yep.
At least, one thing. At least they animate the fights in this show.
Yes.
Unlike in Assassin's Pride.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much how that episode. So we got this week's episode, which was Hiroyuki,
it's kind
the
of
dog,
setting up the next tournament.
Yeah.
Which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, but it's just 20 of the 22 minutes is just Genzo looking for his stolen dog.
And Altina plotting to get the dog back because of no... Okay, so the wolf guy...
the cat girl and...
Eye Patch dude show up and abduct Hiroyuki and sell him off to some nobleman.
Yep. For an extremely monies.
High sum of money. And he's like, nope, I'm not giving it back because this dog is my daughter's now.
But the daughter's obviously a goddamn sweetheart.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. She's like, Daddy, it would be so sad if you ripped this dog away from his owner. And I would be sad if that happened to me too. So just give it back. And he's like, I could do that. But he can't resist his daughter.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, I'll do it, but I'll cut the price in half. I got to make something back on this.
And half of that.
And then half of that. She keeps pleading with him. Come on, don't be a dick, Daddy. Don't be a dick. And he's like, okay, I'll cut that price in half. And then she keeps goading him. She's like, Daddy, do the right thing.
Now, this confused me. Because the look, the pleading look that she was giving him. He says, you're 10 years too... I'm quoting this. You're 10 years too young to be giving men a look like that.
I hope this was a translation error.
I hope so, too, because
this makes absolutely no sense at all.
No, I was like, what? Is he insinuating? What was he insinuating about his daughter?
The line is insinuating that she's making some sexual look or something.
Yeah.
And that she's too young to be making that look, but the context of the scene is not even remotely close to that.
And kids do that all the time. It's the kind of things kids do.
They're like, something over there is shiny. Get it for me.
Yeah. So...
Well, adults do that too.
Yeah.
Shiny things. Give them to me.
But then it also shows that Shigure is also a sweetheart.
Are you sure?
Yes. Because they're like, man, even after he cut it in half and 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 half, that's still an exorbitant amount of money. We can't afford that. And Shigure is all like, okay. And she goes into her private stash and dumps out her private stash on the table. She's all like, I was saving this so we can, start your pet shop. Because I wasn't going to show you all the money we had. Otherwise, you would have spent it all. So I was hiding some of it so we could have some to start the pet shop. But here's the money to get your dog back. I was like, aw, Shigure's awesome.
Meanwhile, Altina had rushed back to the castle because it was her grand plan to pay off this debt. To get the dog back. So that she could bribe him?
Well, no, not bribe, but Genzo would then be in her debt.
Yeah, be in her debt or whatever. So that she could get him to do his heroic duty. Which is all she wants.
Yep. Unfortunately, Shigure beat her to the punch.
So she showed up for no reason outside the nobleman's house with a wheelbarrow full of coin.
Yep.
Only to be disappointed.
So they get back. I love that they get back to the house, and Genzo's first reaction is like, "Oh my God, Birdman and Wolf Guy!"
He actually doesn't know them.
No, but he gets excited as if
he's like, "Yes, more animals!"
It's like Wolfman, Bird Guy, as if as if I were to walk up to my door and Panda was standing there, and I was like, "Panda, what's up?" That's the way he screams at them. It's like,
and if I was some guy that he had never met before.
Yeah.
He's like, Panda! What?
So inside...
I'm just the UPS guy.
Inside is Mao and the vampires. And Mal challenges into a match. To which the vampires don't know what that means.
They're like, we don't know what this means. And the little girl's like, a match is a fight to the death.
So therefore, Dragon Girl, I challenge you to a match. And of course,
so we're gonna have our next wrestling tournament because, what's his name? Claus. Claus shows up, and I wanted to make. I didn't catch it before, but his name is Claus.
Yes,
like in a contract.
Yes.
So now I get it.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't catch that before because sometimes I'm sleepy.
Yeah.
Like Featherhoof.
Yeah. Hey. So, yeah, we got to set up for our next episode. But this episode, and with the exception of those last 5 minutes, was just... I was bored.
Now, out of this, I'm going to say that I do feel bad for Altina because she's going to be the biggest loser in all of this.
Yeah.
After, Mal goes back and the Demon Lord is the Demon Lord is defeated by Ginzo, which I'm almost certain is going to happen.
Yeah.
And peace reigns in the kingdom, but she's going to forever be remembered as Princess of Buttocks.
Yes.
As she's out on the streets looking for Hiroyuki,
yeah.
She's questioning the citizens, and they're like, "Hey, it's Princess Buttocks," and she's like, she just glares at people, and they're like, "We didn't say anything." And then these kids run by, with these boys run by with their trousers down, screaming, "Princess Buttocks!" Ah! So she is like legit not having a good time. So, yeah, no matter what, Princess Altina is the biggest loser of the show.
Yep.
And I feel bad for her.
Yeah. And that was these 3 weeks of Kemono Michi. Like I said, are you seeing the pattern? Are you seeing how it's like 2 episodes are really great, and then this week just sort of is like everything shit the bed? Who knows? Maybe with the next maybe. The next episode can change.
I sure hope so because we're probably gonna get a Carmilla training montage.
Oh yeah,
because she goes up to Genzo, is like, I need to defeat this other vampire.
Right.
So train me in pro wrestling.
Right. But I misspoke. What I meant is like these we've talked about 3 anime and they've all followed that pattern.
Yes.
Maybe with the 4th one. Maybe the 4th one will break that pattern.
Maybe. I don't know.
Let's find out.
What could the 4th anime be?
Well, let's find out as we move right along.
Let's chat about No Gun's Life.
Okay.
And moving on to the next episode. And the next episode. Okay, so we got this 2-parter episode.
Which is awesome.
About this guy named...
Which one?
God damn it, I forgot his name.
Which one? Describe.
Armed. Okay,
yeah.
Armed, we don't know his name at first. He shows up and he's like a pro wrestler or something.
Well, no, they talked about him before. He's like this big hero guy that everyone's like, oh my god, look how awesome he is.
Yeah, so he's very heroic. What he did, we don't know.
Yet.
They talk about some war in the past, but who cares about this war?
War never changes.
Yeah, war never changes. War never changes. No matter what video game you play.
No.
So, yeah.
Liquid!
Anyway.
Metal Gear.
Okay, we're done with No Gun's Life.
No, go on. I'm sorry.
So, yeah, he's showing up and everybody's like, man, he's so heroic and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada.
Like there's going to be a big commemoration. They're going to unveil a giant statue of him.
So, Juzo shows up. And I don't really remember much about this episode other than the end.
Well, isn't this the one where Juzo and Cronin are looking for him?
Wow. And yeah.
And they don't fight. Like at first, like a little girl shows up.
Yeah. So a little girl shows up and they're like, "Man, aren't you?" Juzo's like, "Man, aren't you scared of me?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, I'm not scared of you." He's like, "Most people will see a guy with a gun on his head and they're like, fuck, that's scary."
Yeah.
And she's like, nope.
Which should have been a dead giveaway right there.
Spoiler, she's a bad guy. Or is she? I don't know. Who cares?
Well, yeah, that gets a little complicated. So, there's an assassination attempt on Armed by Gondry! Oh, it's Gondry! Oh no! So,
Yeah, Gondry attacks him.
so Juzo and Cronin work together to take his ass down. Meanwhile, Armed just kidnaps the girl.
I don't know why he kidnapped the girl other than to move the plot along.
Yeah, because it's like he
This
grabbed her.
This is a terribly contrived.
Yeah, because I can see okay, he put his body to protect her, right?
Yeah.
And I can see a guy doing that. He's his beloved hero. I can see a guy doing that. But then, as his Secret Service rushes him out of the area, continues just to hold on to her and grab her. It's like, did you just kidnap that child?
So Gondry kidnaps a child, and they all rush off.
Armed did.
Gondry kidnaps a child. Gondry kidnaps Armed and runs off.
You're just confusing the audience now. Stop it.
Okay, so Armed picks up the child, which turns out to be Gondry,
Yes.
which we find out a few moments later.
Which is again, it's wait a minute. Wait, he has way more mass than that little child body. How?
Apparently, in the world of No Guns Life, you can become more dense as you feel it.
Oh, I see.
And so
You're squishing
you
your
can
own
be a
mass.
6 foot tall man that fits in a 4 foot, 3 foot tall girl's body.
Not just a 6 foot tall. He was 6 foot tall, and with all his appendages and everything,
As
he
all
was
these appendages.
like 5 feet wide.
So not only can that one girl hide a spider's thorax in her vagina,
And all those legs too.
and all her legs in her asshole,
Yeah.
this guy could contort his body into a little. It's insane to think about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
But yeah,
It happened.
that reveal is where that episode ends.
And so Gondry murders all of his Secret Service guys,
Oh yeah,
but Armed is like, I'm a badass, man.
I will stop you. But then the next episode starts and Juzo shows up.
Juzo shows up and they have a good old fight, but since Juzo's been fighting a lot, he's been injured,
Yeah.
which I find hard to believe because this guy is just a tank.
But it wasn't just that. It was also because that douche nozzle, the multiple chin douche nozzle stole all the cigarettes.
Oh yeah,
Which basically works as his medicine.
his medicinal cigarettes, which it's just got to be weed, man. He's just fucking smoking weed, and he's like, yeah, these are my medicinal cigarettes.
So he hasn't actually been able to, heal after all these battles
he hasn't been able to heal.
So
Heal is a substitution for get high. That's why that's the only thing I have
what
that
happens
can
next?
explain it.
Well, what happens?
Yeah, after this fight,
Which is a badass fight, by the way.
it turns out that what's his name, Armed,
Yeah.
was a bad guy.
Yes.
He's evil.
Turns out that they used poor Gondry as a scapegoat back in the
Yes,
back during
in the
war.
war, because war never changes.
They did they did a bad thing.
Yeah,
Armed all them did a very bad thing.
They did a very bad thing because
But-
they're bad guys.
But but they did it for the best intentions. It's like, we wouldn't have advanced extended technology and gotten extendeds the respect they deserved without, doing what we did.
Therefore, it was good.
But we can't have this information leaking out, so
I'm gonna have to kill you.
gonna have to kill all y'all. Sorry, that's how this goes down.
So, unfortunately, he pushes Juzo's berserk buttons and turns him into a something. I don't know how to describe it.
Juzo's consciousness disappears, and he gets taken over by some kind of AI protocol.
And unfortunately, Armed can't handle this, so he goes running around, and then he gets caught anyway.
Juzo's like, remember like way back in the day, like second or third episode where, you know, blonde-haired multi-chin guy tries to threaten Juzo, and he like has the flaps come out of his back to get those guys off him. Well, apparently those flaps on his back were hiding an even bigger handle and trigger. And tentacles.
Laws of conservation of space in this show are just ridiculous.
And don't forget the tendrils. He had tendrils too out of the back there too. Really weird.
I would not be surprised if he's also hiding a nuclear bomb in his asshole. So that reveal will not surprise me.
No.
So they capture both Gondry and
well, I mean,
what's his face?
Armed?
Armed, yes.
Well, first it's like the battle's going very badly.
For Gondry.
No, for Juzo, he can't get any headway even in his berserker state. Armed is still, you know, keeping up with him for the most part.
But Armed loses because he's a bad guy.
Armed loses because Tetsuro uses his harmony on a random EMS guy.
Oh yeah.
To bring Juzo his SIGs.
Yeah, so Juzo wins this battle.
Because he wins the battle because what's her face, Olivier, sucks down his cigarette and then gives him CPR, or mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, to blow the cigarette smoke into his metallic mouth.
I'd let her blow weed into my mouth like that.
But I just love that somehow that works.
Of course it worked.
And
this really hot chick blew weed into this guy's gun muzzle?
Yeah, we'll go with that. And it gives him the power to stand back up and beat the shit out of Armed more effectively than he did in his ultra-powerful berserk state.
I'll go with it. He was high.
So they capture Armed, huh?
Yeah, they capture Armed because a dude that was tripping on drugs beat the shit out of him. Due to the power of love and
weed.
Altered state of consciousness.
The power of 420.
Yes. Yeah, he didn't use his funky Faust, he used his 420 punch on him.
Vegeta, what's his power level? It's over 420!
And then at the end they show, you know, Olivier inside this paddy wagon with Armed and Gondry. Gondry's like fucked, completely fucked.
Yeah.
And she's chatting with Gondry, and he's like, I'm a badass. Whatever, I can't keep their names straight.
Really? Really?
She's chatting with an unconscious Gondry. She's like, Gondry, how's it going? Good to hear. No, she's chatting with Arm. And then we have this cut over to Tits McGee, who showed up in the earlier episodes. I don't know what her name is, but she has...
remember the nun from the first episode? Her. Well, actually, what I loved is, like, the moment when Olivier realizes her big mistake. Because Arm is like, you don't understand. They won't let me testify. He's like, no, it doesn't matter. You know, we're the EMS, and we have jurisdiction over you and all extent. He's like, no, you don't understand. People above you won't let me testify. And then she just had that big wide-eyed look.
Moment that she knew she fucked up.
And you just see this giant blast of something go through that paddy wagon and, you know, send it rolling through the street.
So Tits McGee is up there with a
new
guy with a gun head.
Well,
the only reason I can remember her is because her tits just look fake, and that's saying something because she's an anime character, and of course they're fake.
They must be extended.
They're extended tits. Yeah, it just looks horrible. But the new guy, the thing I noted about him is that he sounds like Al from Full Metal Alchemist.
He does. He's a child. He literally is a child. Because
I'm curious.
Tits McGee, as you put her, or as her name is Pepper.
Pepper.
That's
Pepper,
her
okay.
name is Pepper.
Same name as your cat. That's how I'm going to have to remember it.
Basically pays him in candy.
Pays him in candy. So Pepper pays him in candy because he's a child, even though he's a 6-foot guy with a gun head.
Yes.
Good to know.
Yep. So, that ended that episode.
Yeah. The fate of Olivier we don't know because the entire paddy wagon got completely obliterated.
It got a hole in it that you could ride a horse through. And then it tumbled sideways about 30 times into a wall. So
That poor wall.
So, here's the thing. We've got 2 episodes, and they were good. Now we're the 3rd week. Does this show break the pattern of the 3rd episode being weak? Does this episode do it? Go.
No.
Damn.
You know, I didn't find this episode to be that bad.
Really? There was a setup. It wasn't that bad now.
It was just like setting up the next arc.
Yeah.
And it didn't do anything. We didn't have Jaguar Man having an orgasm in this. We didn't have this completely nonsense episode like Assassin's Pride.
Yeah.
And you know what? Kimono Michi wasn't that bad, but
it was a snooze fest.
What's going on?
It was a snooze fest.
That was also set up for the next arc.
Right, but it had a minute and a half that set up the next arc, but about 22 minutes boring.
That was the only important part.
Yes, but it was still a boring ass episode.
Part.
This episode, though, it sets up a new arc, but does it do it in a way that is compelling and fun to watch?
No. Next episode.
Well, let's set up the arc. Tell them.
Okay, anyway, like I said, I didn't find this offensive. It was a pretty good episode in my opinion.
Okay.
We get Juzo in his office. He's talking on the phone, and he's like, well, she had me worried there. So now I don't know. He's talking about Olivier.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's dead or alive because he doesn't really specify. He could have been like, yeah, she's alive. That's a relief. Or
yeah, she had me worried there.
Or she had me worried. Well, she's dead. Who cares?
No, nobody says, oh, they had me worried about somebody who died. Nobody.
Movie executives would say that.
Yeah, but they're not nobodies.
They're not human.
Yeah.
So, yeah, after that, Tetsuro shows up and he's like, Juzo, I want to be your apprentice. I want to fight crime and justice.
Oh, by the way, there's also a new pot.
I didn't get this. Like, they're talking about a hot pot next, and at first he says, there's a new pot, and I'm like, is he talking about the drug?
Oh, no, it's like
it
the
must
hot pot,
be because...
Like the hot pot they had a few episodes ago.
No, he must be talking about weed, because we're talking about Juzo here. And special cigarettes definitely have to be marijuana.
Well, of course, Juzo's not too receptive to that.
He's like, man, I don't want anything to do with you. Get out of here, kid. And then, what's her name?
Mary.
Mary's like, Juzo, you're a fucking idiot. You gotta teach this kid. Quit being a hardhead.
Or an iron face.
But I've got a gun for a head. Of course I'm hard-headed. And then he, like, attacks her. And he's like, Tetsuro, you gotta learn self-defense. And she's like, it hurts so bad.
Oh, that's right. But, yeah, because she moved into the same apartment now.
She told him that she's moved. Is she living with Juzo?
No, I think she's living in the same apartment complex.
Okay. I don't know, but it's a shitty apartment complex anyway.
But so one of her old patients collapses in front of the apartment complex.
Yeah, because she was talking to Tetsuro about some nonsense.
Yeah.
And some dude collapses, and she's like, "Oh, this is an old patient. I gotta take care of him." Well, I don't know if she's gonna be taking care of him because the verbiage she's using seems to indicate that she needs to get rid of his extended parts because they're causing him very big health problems.
I was having a hard time following that, to be perfectly honest.
Well, he wakes up in the middle and he's like, nah, I need this stuff.
Yeah, I got a job.
I gotta keep working. Make money, pay the bills.
My mom's in the hospital, man.
Yeah, his mom is in the hospital, and he has noble goals.
He does this job, his mom's set. His mom's medical bills be all good. So, basically, long story short, you know those patients who show up at hospitals to make up shit so that they get drugs? Yeah, he snuck in there just so he can steal some drugs from her.
That never works.
I know, but doesn't stop people from trying.
Yeah, it doesn't stop people from trying.
My mother's got stories for days of people who come in trying. My mom's a nurse. But,
my mom doesn't have stories because people don't come into her hospital that she works at looking for drugs. They get sent there. Yeah, my mom's a nurse too, but she works in the psych ward. Psych hospital, really.
Right, okay. Your mom's more of an RN style nurse.
Isn't your mom an RN?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh.
She works on, like, you know, I just can't remember what ward she works on anymore. But it's not psych ward, it's not like that. She's actually like a medical, like, sort of ward kind of thing. I don't know how to describe the difference, but anyway. But, yeah, he went there to steal a box with the medical cross on it.
Yeah, he went to steal some shit from her, which probably was his plan. His entire plan the whole time was just to steal medical supplies from her.
Yeah, probably.
But Tetsuo catches him and he's like, "You return that. You return that now. I won't tell her.
Yep.
But you better return that." And he's like, "No, I'm getting out of here." Sancho, whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh God, I can't remember.
I'm only gonna call him Sancho because he's talking in Spanish and
Spanglish.
Spanglish.
Japanese.
Yeah, so
Japanglish.
Japanglish. So he's talking in Spanish and they don't understand him. And at some point she's talking to him. And he's like, "You're a liar." And they're like, "What?" So he has to re-clarify in Japanese, "You're a liar."
Yeah. He says liar in Spanish.
Which I understood. Did you?
I did.
I was like, what? Yeah, they're just randomly throwing Spanish in there.
Yep.
Like, I watched another show where a bunch of Spanish guys show up. and they're talking in Spanish, and their pronunciation is actually really good. I think it was just some Japanese actors. Like, when the Japanese try to talk in English, it sounds funny.
Yeah.
Because they really don't have the you know, same sounds in Japanese that we do in English.
Okay.
So they kind of have this stilted, and their accent is weird, and it just makes it sound funny. So I love it every time they talk in you know, English. Yes, English.
What was it? Oh yeah, so like Tetsuo tries to stop him from getting away.
Yeah, using his harmony.
Which, like, I guess, I don't know, it wasn't like he was trying to take control of him, it was he was trying to, like, paralyze him or something?
I don't care, it was still funny as fuck.
Because, like, the dude uses his
face plants right into a wall.
Yeah, like, the dude uses his, like, uber metal legs to, like, jump 30 feet in the air, and Tetsuo, like, blows out his subbrain while he's midair, and then he's just, like, blah! It's like his face goes into, like, a pipe, and he, like, bounces off it and flips over, like, it's like almost like something you'd see in, like, America's Funniest Home Videos or some shit.
And then they have this little skirmish, and there's like a flashback with Tetsuo.
Yeah, because Sancho, we'll call him.
Yeah,
like,
Sancho.
He grabs Tetsuo's face and he bashes it into the wall, which causes some kind of spark to happen, which sparks some kind of memories he didn't realize he had.
Bad memories from the guy with the fat rolls.
Yeah, bad juju. Bad. Oh, we forgot about him. But we'll get there.
You know, we also forgot about the thing at the beginning with the thing with the rotating faces.
I was about to get there, yeah. But, so Sancho, instead of being all pissed, he's all like, "Dude! That thing you just did was awesome! You need to come on the job with me. I need someone with your skills. You know, you gotta, hey, show up at blah, blah, blah at such and such time. Yeah, I need a guy like you." He's like, "Okay. And the dude leaps away with his super jump ability.
Now we also do get the scene with the thing with the rotating faces, and the guy with the fat rolls shows up, and he's like, "I'm so sorry, I'm a failure." And they're like, "We'll give you one last chance." Now the interesting thing about this multiple face thing is that it has different voices.
Yeah, it's like
so they had to hire different actors for each face.
Yeah.
and I just thought that was really weird.
I don't know, it reminded me of the big rotating ball of faces in Xenogears.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I felt like it was more like the Japanese. Is it Asura that has the rotating heads or three faces or whatever?
I don't remember if that's Asura or not.
It reminds me of that.
Wow. or the He-Man character, Many Faces.
Many Faces. That was that's an incredibly inventive name.
Faces. That was his name.
I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna brutally murder you after this.
But
I guess we're just gonna have to caption. No, I'm not. That's not for real.
But yeah, it's well, obviously you didn't murder me because they're watching this right now. Well, they will be watching this, and
they don't know that.
What, did you edit it?
Yes. Yes.
Please.
It's my crazy conspiracy theory.
So, yeah, we got Pepper and the new gunhead is seeking out Juzo.
And Juzo gets an assignment to hunt down Sancho.
Yep, and Sancho's got some kind of mystery assignment that he wants Tetsuro's help with. Oh, and Mary wants to find her brother Victor, which the prosthetic part that Sancho had brought to her to put on him had his initial in it.
The only thing I'm going to predict is that guy with fat rolls is going to show up and the spitty faced person is going to be like, "You failed me for the last time."
Ooh, what if that dude, the fat roll guys, what if he's Victor?
What? What?
Ooh, what if it's just one of the heads? Ooh!
I am already so brain-addled from Assassin's Pride and fucking seeing Tiger Man or Jaguar Man have a fucking orgasm, and I just don't have the articulation right now to counter your point with anything coherent.
Okay, then perhaps you shouldn't, and perhaps we should just end this talk for No Guns Life, because that's where it pretty much ends. We're pretty much done with that. It's set up the new arc. We're getting ready for a whole new thing. The final arc. The final big thing that's going to happen before the season ends. And there was episode... No, because this is one of the ones that started a week later, didn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, so we still have three more...
I'm not keeping track anymore.
We still have like three more episodes on this. Yeah, so we have 3 more episodes. At least 3 more episodes left of No Guns Life. And, so we're going to have a whole arc in 3 episodes.
Yay!
But until then, we have 2 more episodes, 2 more shows to talk about. So, moving on to those. Coming up next is Oreisuki, which is going to be the shortest entry on this list because it only had 2 episodes.
Yeah, unfortunately, this week it had a recap episode, which they kind of spiced up, but
it doesn't matter.
It's still a
recap. It doesn't matter.
It wasn't enough because they just have Joro and Himawari's actresses talking over the scenes as it's a recap episode, and they're kind of making fun of it. And Himawari's actress is just making all these weird fucking noises. And we were watching this while Featherhoof was setting up the equipment.
Yeah.
Because I'm lazy.
But,
also, I don't want to break his equipment and have him fly off the handle.
And I wouldn't want him to break any of my equipment and have me fly off the handle either. But so we did get 2 episodes though. All about that new girl, Yuki, I think her name was.
Yes. So we get a new girl and a new arc, and new girl is also tied to the baseball game.
I love this.
I didn't see that coming.
I love his reactions to it. Joro's reactions, like, seriously, again. The fuck? It's like, so, get this, okay? Get this. Remember when Joro was standing out after the baseball game, waiting for Sunshine to come out, holding all those boxes of his favorite deep-fried skewer thing?
Yes.
Where did he get all those deep fried skewer things?
He got them from New Girl.
He got them from New Girl. Her family owns the chain of restaurants that makes these things that Sunshine really
And apparently she had gotten zero business that day until Joro showed up and bought all of the skewers.
And somehow
and made her do all of the work at once. And this is why she came back. Why she transferred schools to meet Joro so that she could get her revengeance upon him.
What?
That's how she describes it. Even though she doesn't.
I don't remember her describing as wanting to get revengeance on him. I remember her describing...
She does.
No.
I'm going to get my revenge on you.
I don't remember.
Very weird revenge, but okay.
The revenge is to... Because she said, I'm here to be your... to be your perfect woman, to do everything you ask of me without asking anything in return and all this other... Or having any expectations upon you. That's her revenge? Really?
Now, my one criticism of the show is that I wish they had gone back to,
Bench-kun?
episodes 1 to 3, where everybody was acting like a shithead.
Yeah.
And Bench-kun was terrorizing Joro. And, Joro and Pansy were making evil grins and just being evil overlords. It's kind of just turned into a harem now.
It actually has.
Which I'm not fond of harems. It's my least favorite genre.
I wouldn't say they're bad most of the time, but it's not exactly the most exciting genre.
I hate harems because either a guy or a girl has all the... Okay, so a guy will either just have all these girls hovering around him.
Yeah.
And obviously only one of them's going to win, but which one of them is it going to be? And
well, I mean,
they're just leading you on during the entire runtime.
Yeah.
But one girl wins in the end, and the rest of them, get a shit sandwich.
True.
Or in the other case, you have your otomes where a girl has a bunch of hot guys around her, and they're going to romance this girl, and then only one of them is going to win.
And they're going to turn into animals every time she hugs them. I mean, it's crazy.
I don't think Fruits Basket is really a hero.
I was just making a joke.
No. You should go sue yourself or something.
Or she's going to go on a quest with them, and they're all going to have different parts of a dragon, and they're going to kick the shit out of things for her, and only one of them is going to get with her in the end.
Sure. I don't know what you're talking about, but sure.
I'll show you.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, it is. It's basically stopped being Oreski at this point. It's just
just a weird fanfic.
Yeah, it's sort of just turned into this basic harem anime. Now, this one, I'm going to be honest, this one actually does break the mold. In that, 2 great episodes with one kind of episode. This one is because all the episodes are just sort of
This new girl actually isn't interested in Joro at all.
No.
Like, the other girls have wanted to form a relationship with him. Himawari, Cosmos, Pansy, Asanaru, who has completely disappeared at this point.
Yep. The redheaded chick who's changed her hair twice now.
The redheaded girl who, I don't know her name. She was in the completely original swimsuit episode. Speaking of which, during the recap episode, Joro says something about Himawari having a nip slip. And I was like, you're completely delusional, dude. I even went back and froze the frame, and I was like, no.
That might have been the joke, though.
Might have been a joke. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about.
But,
maybe they're gonna do something on the Blu-rays. I don't know.
Because this episode is just sort of like episode 7 is just sort of like they just hang around, and the new girl Yuki is just sort of like introduced, and they go have lunch together, and she shares her lunch.
Part of the posse now.
Yeah, and
really annoying to Cosmos in particular, because she wants to make these big lunches.
The big conflict here is that Pansy calls out Joro as a coward.
Okay.
Because he wants to maintain the status quo and hurt nobody's feelings.
Okay.
Because he, instead of just being like, telling Cosmos, no, I don't want to have your lunches. You're making, you're going too far. He tries to make everybody happy. He's like, oh, I'll have some of your lunch, and I'll have some of yours too, and I'll eat those, and this, that, and the other. So she calls him out as a coward, and that's the big thing here.
I feel like Pansy has already won this.
Yeah.
We're just getting this really weird jumble. Like, episode 3 should have been episode 12.
Yeah.
And everything should have built up towards that.
Would have been nice.
Maybe this is filmed in some weird way, like that movie Memento was.
So, that's pretty much that episode. I really don't... Like, there's nothing really that happened that I can talk about. Next episode has something that happened, though.
In the next episode, Joro ruins a book somehow. I don't quite remember how the book got ruined, because I think I maybe glanced away from the screen or something in that.
So, Pansy gives him this book. It's her favorite book.
It's her favorite book in the history of the world.
He's like, I want you to read this. Which she really doesn't, but we'll get to that in the end. So he carries it around with him, and he's going off to get, I think it was like a birthday present for Himawari. He went off to go get something. And he's in the mall district, and Himawari shows up and tackles his ass. He's like, whoa, I thought you were supposed to be in fucking your tennis practice, because your big tennis finale is coming up. And she's all like, oh, no, I'm here to do this, that, and the other. And he points out how she's lying, because he knows her tells when she's lying.
She is lying. She's not a tennis player.
That's true, because we saw her play tennis. She didn't have a single bead of sweat.
We watched Hanibado, and badminton is similar to tennis.
Badminton is like tennis light.
And they were sweating buckets. They were sweating so much that they should be dead.
So in tennis, they must have been sweating even more.
And Himawari should have been sweating more. There should have been just a puddle of water and a dead body of Himawari there. And
a flowering flower.
And she doesn't have a single bead of sweat on her, so she's a liar. She doesn't play tennis.
But, so he gets up and he thinks he's put everything back in his bag, and he goes on his day. That night, he notices the book is gone.
Oh my.
So he goes back to the mall to try and find out where the book went. And these two girls are just suddenly like, hi, we're random girls, Strawberry and the blue-haired girl. I can't remember her name was, but
I don't remember names.
I want to call her Blueberry, because literally the girl with the red hair was named Strawberry.
Yeah, let's just Strawberry and Blueberry.
Yeah, there's a girl with blue hair, so she must have been Blueberry. So they're like, oh, you here earlier. It's like, oh, I dropped this book. Like, oh, we'll help you find it. Don't worry, we'll help you find it. And they find it. See, this is the weird part. I really want some, a little more on this. They just happen to find it, and it's all ruined. It's all like someone chucked it in water and then put condiments on it and made it all gross or whatever. Like, how do they just find it?
I wonder who that could have been. Pansy?
But, so Joro's I need to replace it, so I need to get a job. I need to get one of them their jobs.
And he's like, where can I get a job? He's not paying anybody's attention at the table in the library where everybody shows up to have lunch.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta find a job. And the new girl's like, I could give you a job because my family owns a restaurant.
We just opened up a new store.
He's like, how much you pay? $15 an hour? Oh, you're my best friend in the world. I love you.
The thing is that the girls that helped him find the book also helped him find where to buy a replacement for the book. And it was like, oh fuck, because it's apparently some uber rare book. It's expensive as shit. So, oopsie.
So yeah, he has this job. He's working this job, and Pansy's distraught because he's not coming to the library anymore. And he's trying to do this so he can replace the book. And Pansy's like, fuck the book. I don't want the book. I just want you in the fucking library.
And he's like, no, I gotta do this for my own sense of honor and blah, blah, blah.
Honor!
But then, eventually he does replace the book, but it turned out she didn't actually want him to read the book at all. It was actually, she had a bookmark in there that had some kind of little message on it. I can't remember what it was.
It was something about, if I'm ever in trouble, will you help me? And that's like the end of the episode, because he tells her, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, you're so sweet, Joro.
Yeah. It's like, oh, how sweet. But that's pretty much where it ends. They weren't exactly fantastic episodes. They weren't riveting. They weren't like, yes, these are the best episodes of the series. They were just sort of, oh, Joro ruins a book.
They ruined a book and ruined his relationship with Pansy and renewed his relationship with Pansy.
Yeah.
And the status quo has been restored, so nobody learned anything.
Nope. There's no fourth dimensional chess. There was no, backstabbing or scheming.
We need this stuff back.
Where was that? Was the fun? That was what made Eraski fun. That was awesome.
Why did it start off so strong and then just become a generic harem?
I don't know. It sucks that it did that. Makes me mad.
Shall we move on to the last show?
Yeah, maybe the last show we watched will redeem the week. Maybe the final show this week will redeem just these past 3 weeks. Let's find out as we move right along. Okay.
Concluding anime talks, we have Welcome to the Demon School.
Wait, what? Sorry, you gotta give me a second. I wasn't ready.
You're ready. Let's just roll with it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, Welcome to the Demon School, Iruma-kun. I butchered everything.
You butchered everything in this episode. You might as well just butcher the intro to the final episode, the final show we watched. Go on. What happened this episode?
I don't care because Assassin's Pride was bad, Babylonia was bad, Komodo Michi, Eraski's derailed, and Welcome to the Demon School.
And No Guns Life gets no mention.
No mention. Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun.
Yes.
The only kids show that we're watching. By the way, this show is not for kids. If you did not get the memo when I was talking about Island of the Giant Insects.
Yes. You mean this show?
Yeah, this show.
Okay.
This show where we talk about Amanu.
This show right here. This one right there.
I don't know what the last episode was about, so can we look that up?
I can tell you.
Yes?
Yes. Extermination Cannonball!
Was that all these episodes is Extermination
Cannonball? The last 2 were. The one before that was the one with your favorite character in it.
Oh, yes. Can we just talk about that episode?
Was that one or was that the one before? Yeah, that was last episode. Yeah, that was the episode with your favorite character. We'll start with that because that was the first episode we're going to talk about. That was episode 7 or 8. That was episode 8.
Okay, so episode 8, which is going to be the only episode I'm going to be talking about this. Featherhoof will talk about the other 2 episodes.
Fine.
Because I am disinterested in those.
You what? That was funny, the Cannonball ones.
I don't care. Compared to Rhyme Sensei, it does not matter.
Go on.
We have Best Girl in the Show, introduced in episode 8.
I say the most disturbing girl.
I don't care.
She's disturbing as fuck. Those eyes! Those eyes are creepy as fuck, dude!
I took pictures of her, so we could just put them up on the screen.
I don't want... Why did you... What? No. You have pictures of her, huh? You print them out? Got them plastered on your walls there, do you?
I wish I could print them out, but my printer's not working right now.
Also, you just do it straight in front of the screen. Got it. Didn't need to know that.
We're talking about Demon School, not Babylonia.
Her eyes are sideways hearts. It's like, that is the creepiest shit ever.
I don't care. So, Clara is so jealous of America that she has to get her sex appeal up because she wants Iruma-kun. That's her guy.
Yes.
So she's like, I'm going to enroll in these classes with Rhyme Sensei.
Who's a succubus,
who teaches the demon girls how to be seductive and to prey on the souls of men.
Even though somehow Owlboy keeps getting in there.
Owlboy. So the class is only for the girls. No guys are allowed in. but Owlboy gets in somehow.
Like 3 or 4 different times.
And she's taking roll call, and she's like, "Are you here? Blah, blah, blah. This girl, that girl, that girl." And then she's like, Owlboy. And he's like, "Here." And she's like, "Wait, you're a boy. Get the fuck out." So they kick him out. And he's like, "I was so close." He was like the guy from Star Wars. Which was it? Which one was it? Was it Rogue One?
I tried to
Rogue
forget.
One, or
With the exception of the
was
Darth
it
Vader
Episode
scene,
8?
With the exception of the Darth Vader scene at the end, I try to forget Rogue One. That was
Where the
awful
guy
movie.
shows up and he's like, "We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close." And that was Owlboy. He was like, "Man, I was almost in taking the succubus class." So, hottest girl, Rhyme Sensei, starts instructing these girls on how to be sexy. And she's like, "First, I've got to, evaluate your seductiveness. I have special eyes that will allow me to do this."
Now, was I the only one who was mildly disturbed that the cute blonde-haired demon that likes Iruma but's too shy to talk to him has a lower sex appeal than the fat dragon girl?
Okay. Anyway.
I was like, what the...
So she activates her Sharingan and starts looking at all these girls. And she's like, "Yeah, I can tell your sex appeal. Oh, you're super sexy. You need a little work." And then she looks at Claire and she's like, she literally pukes. She's like, "Oh my god, she's so ugly."
She gets a 2%.
She gets a 2%. She's like, "How is this even possible? Even babies have a 3%.
Which actually, I find that funny, even funnier, because, like, the show just admitted, yes, babies are ugly. Because they are.
Babies are ugly, which is an opinion I hold, and
yeah.
I guess one that you hold as well.
Yes.
More disturbingly, they have sex appeal?
That is also another question we need to ask. Why is she garnering? Yeah, why is she able to gauge the sex appeal levels, their power levels, 6 power levels of babies? Because it should be 0.
Negative.
It should be at negative 100%.
Whatever. So she's instructing Clara on all these things.
Well, no.
You need some real work.
Well, what makes me laugh is that she can't even stand Clara at all. She's like, "I'm not even going to bother. Here's a stack of books. Get out of my face."
You need to read this stuff. Get out of my face. And then after you're done, we will work on you. So Clara goes and reads all this stuff and completely fucks up everything.
Yeah, she's like, "I'm gonna put on you gotta put on makeup," and she puts on this clown makeup.
Yeah, she puts on a clown face.
Like, you gotta wear clothing that's sort of wavy or something like that. And she puts on this like weird furry parka looking thing, and
all these things to increase her sex appeal, so that she can get Iruma to be her boyfriend.
Yes,
but she fails horribly at it. Now, there was one bizarre sequence in this episode.
the music, the song.
The fucking song. I did not understand this part at all.
For reasons known only to the writers of this, Clara comes home upset that all her attempts have failed.
She's like, "Man,
So
why aren't I sexy? And why isn't Irma my boyfriend now?"
to cheer her up, they have a family sing-along.
Just totally fucking bizarre and unexpected.
Just random, out of nowhere. You would have thought you were in a Frozen movie. That's how it just comes out of nowhere. It's... The only thing I can say that I liked about it, I was like, the mom's kind of cute. Claire's mom's kind of cute.
I don't care.
Other than that, it was completely pointless.
It's all about Rhyme Sensei. She's only showed up in one episode so far and hasn't showed up in any others.
That's not true. She's been in the ending credits of every episode ever since.
She's in the ending credits. I don't know if she was in the ending credits before, if they just edited her in, but she's in the ending credits, which is a plus. But yeah, by the end of the episode, Clara has made friends with Iruma because Iruma doesn't understand anything.
No, he doesn't understand the attraction, I guess. He doesn't understand that she was trying to use her demonic charms to garner sex appeal with him. But
by the end, she has increased her sex appeal by a whole 1%.
Well, I thought it went up to like 20% or something.
No, it goes
like
up to 3.
Oh, did it? I thought it
Yeah.
actually went to like a decent amount. That's why Ryan was all like, "Oh shit, look at that!"
But Ryan's like, "Wow, we're making some progress here."
But I thought it was by more than that.
Maybe it was. I don't know.
I could have sworn, but
Maybe she went up to 20. I don't know. She did make some progress though,
Yeah.
and Ryan was like, "We've done it! We've done it! Success!"
So, but of course, that's not revisited. That's sort of like, okay, that's one and done, and moving on to other things in Irima's life,
Yes.
like dodgeball.
Execution dodgeball.
Execution cannonball.
Yeah. So it turns out that they're going to have a meeting to rank up
Yeah,
because they're unsatisfied with their low ranks.
yeah, because what America.
America.
She's like, what are your goals in life, Irma? What do you want?
Ambition.
Ambition. Come on, what is it? And his is like, that's it. Okay, what's the easiest thing I can think of? Ranking up in school. So he wants to rank up from 0. So there's like a test that they have to do, and the test is basically dodgeball,
Execution dodgeball.
execution cannonball,
Trying to murder each other.
basically. Well, at least that's the impression they gave. I was really I was really let down with when it actually came down to it.
Yeah, so they really hyped it up like, oh, demons throw so hard that you're gonna fucking die if you take the hit.
Well, so he practices with Opera, his grandfather's servant, which I do love that they're actually building a little relationship. And it's like,
Okay.
it's like I've gotten to know, I'm starting to understand Opera a little more. I always thought he was emotionless, but I can actually tell he does have emotions. It's all in his ears. I can tell. His ears are up, he's happy. When they're down, he's worried or sad.
Yeah, so there's this whole training montage where
Gotta have a montage.
where oh god, you just said his name too.
Opera.
Opera is building up Irima's strength to do dodgeball.
To basically break his own self-training. He has the super mega dodge skill. Well, that will not get him nowhere in dodgeball. It'll keep him from getting hit,
you
but
need some offense as well.
well, he needs some real defense because he needs to he has to catch the ball. He can't just dodge the ball, he has to catch the ball.
Yeah, like you said, you won't get anywhere just by dodging because you're not eliminating anybody.
Nope. So they spend an entire episode learning to catch the ball.
And he learns to catch the ball.
It was very dramatic.
Very dramatic. Very long sequence.
Very long.
A lot was learned.
Not really. In
Not
fact,
really.
nothing was learned. It just
According to Featherhoof, nothing was learned at all.
now the only thing that was learned that Irma can catch the ball. That was it.
And then they have their execution dodgeball.
Which I like this episode.
Yeah, it was a fun episode.
But the thing is, what made me mad is they hyped this up. It's called Execution Cannonball.
Yeah,
They were like,
it kind of was a letdown. Like
not Sebastian. What's
Sabnock?
no his grandfather.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna say grandfather. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
yeah.
He has to actually put a spell on Irma's hand so he can catch a ball thrown at demon strength levels without his hands shattering into pieces. It's like, oh wow, oh shit, this is gonna be amazing, right?
Yeah.
So the dodgeball happens. Well, first off, the big turmoil is poor Irma and Clara are put on the yellow team, Askun's on the red team. It's like, uh-oh, the best friends split up. But it's actually a ploy by, Demon Snape.
Demon Snape had this whole plan that if Askun had just let Irma win the competition, he wasn't going to allow him to rank up. Ever.
But, so the match begins, and they start chucking the dodgeball around, and it's literally just dodgeball. It's just, boom. Like, oh, I got out, darn. And they go up to the side of it's like, where is the throwing it so hard it shatters bones and beats the crap out of people. And what is this?
The one part about this that really cracked me up is when the one kid decided after he caught the ball that he was going to go give it to the other girl on the other team.
Because it hit one of the girls and it got her scent on it. He's like, the only way to make it more complete is you need to touch it too.
So he crosses the line, which is against the rules. He gives it to her, and Demon Snape is like, "Bro, you're out. Get out of there." And his other teammates are like, "Yo, time out." And so they go over there and they just start curb stomping him. They're like, "What the fuck were you thinking, man? What is your problem?"
Oh, that was a good scene. I love that. But the thing that cracked me up, I mean, that was a good scene. But the thing is, the entire time the dodgeball is happening, as Asmodeus is sitting there.
Yeah, nobody thinks to target him.
Well, no, they did. Remember, they're all like, "Oh, we can't throw it as Asmodeus because like he's the most after Iruma-kun, he's the most powerful. If we try to throw it at him, he'll probably just like do this thing to kick our asses. We're gonna have to think of a strategy for him. We can't just go right at him. He'll knock us out." So they're like, but the thing is that he's just sitting there going, "How do I make it look like a? How do I help Iruma-kun without it looking like I'm helping Iruma-kun?" Like, I love because but it gets as people are being knocked out one by one, Sabnock actually finally goes, fuck you, Asmodeus! Boom, chucks it at him. He's just boom, denied.
Yeah, so
he's like,
there are a couple balls thrown at him.
There was that
too.
There was actually a lot of scenes not intentional.
Now that I said it, I remembered.
Yes. What was it? Something about Sabnock's ball.
Yeah.
Take a face. What was it? Take a face full of Sabnock's ball or something to that effect. Yeah. It was just like, what the fuck?
You just took Sabnock's balls to your face. And then they're like, balls are ever. I'm covered in balls.
Because Clara was making sports balls come out of her.
She's just pulling balls out. They're like, oh my god, all these balls around us.
But I love when Asmodeus he denies both. I think it was Sabnock and then followed by someone else. I want to say it was probably Clara. They try to throw balls at him and he denies them he doesn't even realize he denied it. Like he screams like, "I'm in the middle of thinking over here," and he chucks the ball back at them and knocks them both out.
So the final match comes down to Asmodeus and Iruma, and it's going to be an epic battle.
And Asmodeus actually does consider letting Iruma win.
And he's like, "No, I can't do that."
Because he looks at his face and he's like seeing Iruma-kun looking all determined and stuff. He takes that as Iruma-kun's going to go 100%.
He's like, I gotta take this seriously. I gotta go 100% myself.
Like he burns up. He takes his he pulls a Bruce Lee. He takes the jacket off and everything.
He should have taken his shirt off too.
Yeah, he would have won if he took the shirt off.
If he would have taken his shirt off, yeah. That would have given him the final power boost that he needed to defeat Iruma.
Apparently, Asmodeus's jacket works the same way as Kenpachi's eye patch from Bleach, because he takes it off and he's like burst into flames, and the ball he's holding bursts into flames. He has this fireball of destructive demonosity. And I love his Iruma-kun has this look on his face. Oh shit.
He's like, oh shit, he's serious.
And he has the flashback to what Opera said. He's like, see, here in the demon world, showing fear, that's the same as losing. So the more fear you feel, the more you gotta step up.
You gotta put yourself on the front lines, confront it so that you get hyped.
So he takes it literally, and he starts moving forwards, across the field towards Asmodeus.
Is like, oh my god, he's taking this so seriously.
He chucks the fireball, and this suddenly turns into Dragon Ball.
This is a Shonen Battle-esque sequence here.
He chucks the fireball, and Iruma-kun he catches it, and he's being shot backwards.
He's like, oh my god, this is so strong, I can't stop it. And then he uses
He literally... Do you remember when we were talking about Demon Slayer last season? He literally pulls a Demon Slayer. Remember the dude with the arrows?
Yeah.
And he reverses it on the guy? Mm-hmm. He basically pulls that shit. He reverses the ball by taking that momentum, spinning in a circle with it, and then but to maintain the momentum and chucking it back at Asmodeus.
And he wins. And gets promoted.
to rank 2.
And his waifu showed up to watch it, and she's like, "Yes,
Good job. Good job. Good bird."
good bird. and then Demon Snape shows up, and he's like, "Okay, you can rank up because Asmodeus took you seriously, and he didn't just let you win."
Yep. Actually, the way that Demon Snape actually looked, it almost looked like he had a little bit of respect for Iruma-kun out of suddenly. He's like, "Oh shit, Iruma-kun." Like he analyzed what Iruma-kun did. He's like, "Oh fuck."
I guess it's a good thing that only America knows his secret.
and his grandfather and servant.
Well, they don't really count because...
But they exist. They know.
They don't really count, though, because they do the whole thing from the beginning, and
true.
It was their whole plot.
Alright, well, that was Iruma-kun. Like I said, I was slightly disappointed because they showed like this montage of everyone getting knocked out, and it was just boof, boof, like just a dodgeball bouncing off of them.
It was kind of weak up until the final battle.
Like even Sabnock, and when he tried to like throw like the super strong throw, it was just denied instantly by Asmodeus.
Well, he can't compete with Asmodeus.
Well, no, because Asmodeus is Asmodeus.
And then the one last thing that made me chuckle was one of the kids was like, "Hey, Iruma, come on, let's go do
Oh,
because we're Demon Snape promised to buy us this stuff."
Yeah, buy us a drink.
Yeah, he promised to buy us drinks, and he's like, "I didn't say that. No, I didn't agree to that at all."
And then during the next time on Iruma-kun thing, or the post credit sequence, where they had the childish drawings versions of it.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what was said during it. It just kept showing Demon Snake going, "I didn't agree to that."
I didn't agree to that at
Just
all.
keeps cutting to him going, "I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to that." That was fun. But yeah, that was Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun. Despite the fact that this dodgeball thing was hyped up and kind of a letdown, I still enjoyed it.
I was not offended by this episode, as
No.
other episodes this week had done some very unspeakable things.
I think the only 2 episodes to maintain my attention this week was Iruma-kun and No Gun's Life.
That's a fair assertion.
Yeah, I think they were really the only ones this week. So, hey, that was our 6 animes, and this was a really long episode, so I think it's time we...
Ended it!
Yeah. And that was the end of weeks 8, 9, and 10.
And 11.
No, 8, 9, and 10.
And 11.
Uh-huh.
Which will happen next week.
But then it's not the end of it. This is the end of weeks 8, 9, and 10.
It will be an end at some point. But this is also the end of this episode.
Yes. Which...
Ow!
Hold on,
That hurt.
Hold on, we gotta do it like a wrestler. It's like,
That's very true. They do stomp on the ground when they do that. They gotta drain all of the energy out of their attack.
well, that, and so it also sounds like they're actually hitting something.
That too.
That and the whole when they backhand the chest to make big slap sound.
That would have... They're like... Fuck your pectorals.
And I always was like, was that supposed to do something? And we just got on a tangent on wrestling. So my apologies.
You don't have to apologize. I was entertained by that.
Okay. I apologize because he got entertained. That was a interesting 3 weeks, to put it lightly. It was an interesting 3 weeks. But not necessarily in the good way. But we're coming up. We're in the final fourth of this season. Yeah, like 3 weeks to go.
Hooray!
Is that hooray? Do we want it to be over?
I'm getting in that point at the end of the season where I, have that malaise, and I just want it to be the next season because I want new shows.
I kind of miss the days where I was just excited for that one show to keep going. Where seasons were like 24 episodes long, and
you can't get a Banana Fish all the time, or
I know,
or a Review Starlight, or a Yurikuma Arashi, or
I know, but it's just the thing is that like some shows, like Assassin's Pride, I think really would benefit if it was a 24 episode series, so they could have done more. If they could have done more, they could have like fleshed out characters better, instead of feeling so rushed all the time.
I feel like Assassin's Pride in particular is really one of those, animes that is just strictly an advert for the source material.
Possibly, maybe. And also a blatant cue for anyone who's not picking up on it that the author really liked Harry Potter. But, yeah, it's just... I don't think this is going to go down. I mean, this is my prediction now. We still have 3 weeks to go. I don't think this is going to be one of those seasons that, like, goes down in anime history. It's like, oh, man, that season had so many greats.
I like the point in this video where we're going to get a downvote for somebody to be like, you didn't like Babylonia episode 10.
Yeah, I think because, like, the only downvotes we've ever got, I mean, this is actually going to get like, oh, people, he wants downvotes? Let's give him downvotes. The only other downvote we ever got for one of these episodes.
Got one was when we shit on that episode
of Jaguar Man.
Yeah.
There's a real fan of Jaguar Man out there who's like, those motherfuckers.
They don't like Jaguar Man. What's wrong with these fools?
But, I don't think this is going to go down as like one of the great season people are like, oh man, that season. Oh, that was great. The only thing that I'm so mad I haven't gotten to watch Beastars. Fucking Netflix.
The Beastars might have been good.
I've heard great things about it. I've heard a lot of good things.
And so some of the, cinematography I've seen from that makes me interested in wanting to watch that.
Like, I've never seen a CG anime done that good.
Yeah, you have Land of the Lustrous.
Oh, yeah. And that one was actually better. Land of the Lustrous is so good at CG anime, I forget that it's CG.
Yeah. I think you're right, though. This is probably not going to go... Like, so a lot of these shows started off very strong and so promising. Assassin's Pride, Araiski. There's another show we were going to watch called Babylon.
Babylon, yeah.
Babylon, which we cut. And I'll be honest, I'm thankful for it because that show is probably going to go down as a dumpster fire from this point forward. I'll probably talk about that later because it was very interesting in the beginning.
Okay.
But we've rambled on long.
We did, yeah.
Very long, and we probably need to end this here because I can't see where we're at, but I think we've been chatting for like 2.5 hours.
Almost 3.
That's a long time.
So we need to get going. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us on this very extended episode. Apologies for that. Thank you so much for it. Take care. If you enjoyed this episode, please let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, share it, or you can click on the annotations for other videos we've done.
If you're a fan of Jaguar Man, put a dislike.
Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next time.